Cool. All right, so where we left off, you all had just arrived at the Yogg ceremonial burial grounds, which are, well, right now you guys are outside this ruined Mephuan temple at Calderfell, and the white frost that feeds is about 2 hours or so south. You seem to have snuck by without gathering his attention, you think, at least. Or at least you didn't, immediately rush and fly down and attack everybody. Let me go and move us over to that map.
It's been weeks since I've done my pogo impression, my voice.
Yeah, that's not it at all. Like, you're way off right now.
Hold on, there it is. I'll get it. Maybe a little bit better there. We'll figure it
out. Gotta dial it in a little bit.
Figure it out as we go.
So, with the unnatural cold. Oh shit! I got a VA for you guys here too. Let me find that. Apologies for the rust.
It's been a while.
Yep. I'm gonna show players. There we go. All right. So that's about. You guys are standing in a gateway just outside of the courtyard that you're seeing in that image there. But with the unnatural cold sapping every last bit of strength you have, you've just barely survived, or just barely arrived rather, at the ruined, broken wall of Calderfell, which is a Mephuan temple that was built on top of the ancient ancestral Yogg burial grounds. Your feet are still fighting your every attempt to move. Your eyes are in constant stinging pain from the icy wind, and it takes all your remaining energy to not just collapse in a heap here on the rubble of this rampart here. There's a thick blanket of snow and ice that's covering, even from here, where you guys can see through this kind of broken wall where a gateway had been at some point. You can see a few dozen human-shaped skeletons that are strewn across the courtyard here. Norok, this is normal. When the Antaros tribe took this place back from the Mephuans, they buried all the Yogg that fell in the battle, but they just left the humans to rot where they were. Most of them are little, but just skeletal, snowy bumps in the ground, except for a couple that are pinned up against this wall that you guys are standing near, with huge spears that are just pinned into the wall. Essentially, they're just kind of petrified in place for 4 centuries, and then just left there as a lesson. Neat. But Norok, what you see here is not surprising, though. It seems nothing really has changed significantly since your last visit, except for the weather. Obviously, it wasn't snowy then. It was about 3 months ago when you were here last, when the Black Iron Slavers attacked the Antaros. The little tree branch TP ritual pyre that you had made is up ahead, and you can still see it there. It's fallen over and covered in snow, but you can still see the spot where you had made that little ritual pyre. You kind of instinctively look up to the mountainside off to the left there, above the temple, and you see the 7 great stone heads that are carved as monuments of your ancestors that are just motionless, just the faces that are carved in the rock there. Before the Mephuans had built this temple, obviously, they kind of looked down over the burial grounds, but now the temple's kind of on top of that, so they're just looking down over all this rubble and ruin and everything. But apart from these evidences of this long-ago battle, the courtyard's quiet. It's still. Nothing's moving. Snow is relatively light. It's mercifully light on your guys' heads. Just a drastic departure from what you guys had come through with the kind of razor-like winds that were pushing against you before you could get here. But now you're in this it's a tiny little caldera. It's basically surrounded by mountains on all sides, with only this little inlet where you guys are coming in from that is somewhat exposed. But basically the snow is much lighter here. It's still snowing, but it's not constant blast of wind and blizzard. The sun is below the craggy peaks of this little caldera area, so there's just these wide kind of chilling shadows over everything. It's still extremely cold, but at least you're not being hit by the wind. You do know that the white frost that feeds is only a short distance of a flight to the south, but otherwise you don't see any visible threats. What are you guys doing?
I'm casting invisibility on myself. I'm gonna go find a place to go inside, and I am going to, at a normal pace, just start walking in to see if I can find anywhere that could lead into any kind of what Pogo's assuming is some sort of underground crypt type place. Okay. Would I see anything like that as moving forward?
When you get in through the
and I am going alone.
See...
I'm not waiting. I'm cold. I just want to see if there's an option to go inside.
All right, and you're invisible still? You
I'm invisible, slots and everything? And cool. Yep. I did have to check that.
You guys were pretty well
besides
set,
the exhaustion, I'm not too bad off. But
Reminder on that. Everybody's at 3 except for Artemis, who was at 2, which means everybody's speed is halved, as well as minus a D8, I think it is, off of any checks you make and all that kind of shit. So pretty severe penalties. It is getting late also, but
I
I'm gonna
leave no
look around
footprint.
for any food and then find a place to set up the treehouse.
Okay.
And I'm doing this quietly with my boots. So
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're able to. What was that, Becky?
We're early, aren't we? Like, we don't have to do the ritual today.
Correct. Yeah. Today it is Monday at about 6 p.m. and you have until Thursday. Like it needs to be done before dawn, but before 6 a.m. or whatever. Let's say on Thursday. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It's Moon Day and that's Thane's Day, but just for simplicity's sake, translating here. Fox, in looking around, the growth that is here is. It seems like it's been winter for much longer. I guess is how I put that. Like there's still. Coniferous, evergreen trees and stuff like that. But there's pine cones and that kind of thing. But as far as berries and anything of natural foods that might be around, you don't see anything harvestable and no wildlife in this little basin area.
Okay.
So
I won't
Justin,
venture back out the way we came though, because it'd be too dangerous. So I'll just stick around here.
Okay, I'll tell you too that like your trip here, even if you were, I know you guys kind of had a single focus in trying to get here and to survive long enough to make it here. But even if you had been looking around, there wouldn't have been wildlife larger than maybe rabbits on your way here. Anything larger than that would have either succumbed to the cold or probably been nabbed up by the dragon.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. But Justin, as far as peeking around, almost everything is broken except for the temple that is to the left of you. And you see two very large double doors that don't look like they've moved in a very long time. Other than that, everything's covered in snow, and the buildings, there's 3 other buildings that the roofs have partially caved in and walls have broken down on. So you can kind of see under them, and there's shelter. Like there's spots, where they're not being directly hit by snow. Still, otherwise exposed to elements with 1 or 2 walls that are missing. But apart from that, it seems relatively exposed. But again, because you guys are surrounded essentially on 3.5 or so sides, there isn't like a constant blast of wind, even though the blizzard is still raging out further down the slope. It's relatively quiet and safe up here, it seems.
I think I'm still gonna check the doors to the big doors just to see how close they are. I know I'm small, but if I get -8 on it, so I probably won't be able to open them. But I'm gonna check.
Okay. Well, it's going to take you a minute to get up there, moving at half speed. What's everybody else doing as far
I'm not going terribly fast either. I'm going a little
Okay.
stealthily.
Okay, well,
So
if you're going stealthily,
real
you'd
slow.
actually be at quarter speed. Yeah.
Yeah, real slow.
It'd be-
So you guys don't see me or hear me, but I'm creeping my frozen dick up there.
And as you creep, watch the rest of us just running.
I'm fine. If I see that happen, I'll get there on my own time.
Eventually.
Alright, and where are these doors at? Oh, never mind, I see them.
Yeah, up to the left. Yeah, you guys can, it's free movement. You guys can move yourselves around. Shok steps.
She's
Okay.
tired.
Shok, kind of making his way in, wanders over to the side over here, to this little kind of overhang area. He takes Avar with him, and kind of moves into the inside there and then sits down, just flat on the floor where he's not sitting in the snow. And kind of he brought Avar along with him, so Avar's over there with him too. Arteme, in looking around, you see like you could probably set the tree up just about anywhere. Any of the buildings that have a roof, basically the 3 other buildings that aren't the big temple, the roofs would be too short for the tree to be able to fit inside. But you could just set it up in the middle here, and you won't be, it's at least it's not snowing hard enough now for you guys to be buried in snow like before.
Okay.
Justin?
What about me? Oh, I dropped off, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, my Google Chrome, well, not Chrome, but I had to refresh the page. It lost the map for some reason. And now it's being a butt. But I still have you on Discord.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any errors. Everything looks fine on my side. Well, is anybody else having trouble?
No.
Nope, just me.
All right, I'll keep an eye on it. How about you, Sako? I know Sako, I know you're having audio trouble, but did you follow along okay?
Yeah, we got snow.
Yeah, light snow, thankfully. It seems relatively safe. Do you want to do anything here in this courtyard? Everybody's kind of spreading out and looking around.
Just check for anything arcanic, any arcanic energy or magic in the area, like using arcana to disguise something or hide something.
Okay. Let's see. Without kind of looking in any specific direction and just kind of scattershot looking around, give me an Arcana check with disadvantage. If you have specific things you want to look at, let me know and we can focus on. Yeah, with that minus D8, that's pretty rough. Nothing stands out. You can definitely tell that there's a lot of not even just latent, but let's say recent energy here, which I would tell you belies what it seems like. Like this place looks like it's been untouched for a long time, but there's definitely something happening here. There's current energy happening here.
Something happening here.
What'd you say, G?
Was this like a fire pit or something?
That is the little teepee that you had built of sticks when you did your petitioner's rite to try to commune, literally in session 0.
Okay.
Do you remember that?
No.
So, well,
it was like
3 years
7
ago.
years ago?
Yeah, no, it's been a while.
Literally in session 0, your very first scene, you had a, like you were, sparring with Shok, and then came up here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and that's the spire. That's the little kind of, you built a little teepee of sticks essentially to burn some wormroot and some other stuff inside of it as like a little, think of it like a shamanistic kind of a rite, something Obo had taught you, whose bones are still in your backpack, of course. The reason that you're here, even. Anyways, you had done that, and then you had heard a voice and all that, and then right as that happened is when you saw the smoke coming from the village down below, and you ran down to try to, get to Antaros in time. Remember?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what you're seeing there. Nazim, looking around, nothing stands out except you just feel this kind of impermeable energy that is surrounding everywhere around here. Pogo, you reach for the doors, and as your hand gets about 6 inches or so from these very large like handles, like big wide handles, like the door doesn't appear to be locked or anything else, doesn't look like it would even be secured unless you were to wrap a chain between the two, like two big door handles, basically two big double doors with door handles, and to secure it you'd have to wrap chains, it seems like. But it doesn't seem like they're locked. But as soon as your hand gets about 6 inches or so away, there is a like a spark, like static electricity, that zaps away from the handle into your hand. It stings quite a bit. You have to kind of shake your hand away. And I'll tell you that it felt enough deterrent that you probably don't want to do it again, but you're welcome to try.
Did it feel like it was... Did it feel like something like Did I get a sense like this is like a magical lock as opposed to... Okay,
it's something,
not like I was walking on carpet for too long and touched like the side of my...
You've got
snow static all the time. Yeah, okay.
Not even kidding. Every time I get out of my truck, I have to touch it.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, every
I get
single
that
time.
with just the Versa, not the Subaru. No idea why.
And it's the same for other cars too. But anytime I'm ever riding in a car, like I build up a static, charge, and I have to discharge it on the car when I get out.
Sarah's coming up behind me, I'm just going to kind of walk up next to her. She's walking and whispering in her ear, "There's electricity on the door handle."
Jesus.
Like with a lot of hot breath. Don't touch it. It tinged my fingers.
I got this. This I can do. Where is it?
And I'm gonna step away because all right, I'm just gonna go over here. Still invisible.
I'm gonna cast knock on it.
Oh yeah, that would have been a surprise for Sarah there then. The invisible Pogo shouting at her.
Mm-hmm. So to be suppressed for 10 minutes if it's arcane lock.
Okay. So you cast it? You don't feel or see anything change. Are you reaching for the door or anything afterwards?
Sure.
Okay. You reach for the door, and similarly, you see a shock of this kind of violet, almost purple-colored electricity zap out from the door and snap your fingers.
Damn, I lied. I ain't got it.
I'm gonna pinch Norok's leg and go, "The door's electrified. Just beat it down with the axe so I can get warm." Is this like a holy site? Is this a holy site for them, I think?
Yes. Well, okay. Norok,
if you can, just break the door down.
Yeah, Norok, would you have shared any of the history, like the information about this place at all with them?
No, actually, I probably wouldn't have said anything. But when I come in and start looking to lock and stuff, then I'll probably let them know that our place is under here. Did you say that out loud, Justin? Was that at
Yeah,
the
that
end
was
game.
that was
Yeah,
for
but
you.
Yeah, well, we're actually above our place. The humans actually built this temple over our
Fuck the
training
humans
ground.
then. They're dead. Look, to see the spears just to get us inside. I'm so cold.
I'm fine with that.
Do you know how to get inside? Like, is there a special way to get in without getting our asses zapped, or do we just beat the door down?
DM question, I'm assuming this is new, right, G?
Yeah, the door is not normally secured at all in any way,
Yeah.
shape, or form. In fact, oftentimes when you would come up here, you've been here a handful of times with family, for burial rites. You've come up here all the time, but as far as specifically doing burial rites, those doors would be open just because the wind would blow them open, and there would be snow on the, or during the winter, anyways, there'd be snow inside a little bit from, this place just isn't cared for. Nobody's ever supposed to be here, essentially.
Yeah, so I'll say, no, normally this isn't locked in any kind of way, especially with electricity. This is new.
All right. Well, before you go knocking doors down, let me try one more thing, just in case there's somebody in there, or it gives you a quite bigger shock than it did Pogo and I. So I will cast a spell magic on the door.
Okay. You cast it at the door, and it does feel like something unravels around the door. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, because of the recency bias, I suppose you guys know what recency bias is?
No.
This is called the Bader-Meinhof syndrome, but specifically when you hear a word for the very first time and you've never heard it your entire life, and then for the next week you hear it like 10 times. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So that's called the Bader-Meinhof syndrome, and recency bias is kind of a version, or recency bias is the kind of umbrella that sits under. And what it is essentially is that when you first learn about something, all of a sudden that kind of seems to crop up all the time in your life where it hadn't previously, and it's just a psychological phenomenon. Anyways, the recency bias in this specific case is the source, the kind of rill that is coming from is extremely familiar due to the recency bias, but it is where's my notes? God damn it. Like I said, pardon the rust here.
Okay. I gotta bring up my notes anyways.
God damn it, where did it go? There we go. It is Corvalane.
Corvalane.
Yeah. Which is
Knew it.
extremely abnormal. That has no place here, and remember, has not been seen by anyone alive for a very long time. Corvalane is the ancient rill of death that was replaced by Demolane, which is the kind of modern version of it. But as it unravels, you see threads of Corvalane that make zero sense whatsoever. Those should, it would have been noticed, essentially, or should have been noticed if it was normal.
Right. So should we sneak in here then? Because somebody's got to be here, right?
Well, we can figure it out when we decide. I mean, I'm sure the friendly.
Were you acting chattering teeth? Is that what that was supposed to be?
Yeah. Better close.
Okay, so you're saying they're supposed to be friendly, like the giants were friendly?
I just want to go inside. We need to do something.
You're hearing clinking sounds from behind all of you. Well, Arteme, depending on where you were, if you're nearby, you probably immediately recognize the sounds. The rest of you, if you turn and look in that direction, Shok is in the little this little spot over here. Looks like it was probably originally designed to be an armory, but fires have been built in that little broken overhang numerous times. So that's WebGL. That would be your graphics card. Are you playing from a laptop or something?
Are you telling me my 3.5-year-old $400 laptop is having some issues?
How sure would seem so.
Through my HDMI splitter? Are you serious?
Yeah. So
that
remember,
makes sense.
when I've told you before, like anytime I'm playing from my laptop, if it's a big map, WebGL is OpenGL, but WebGL in this case is the onboard video driver. That's the onboard video decoder, whatever it is.
Same. I think it's the same thing that's happening in my other game that I run. So at least we know what it is.
Yeah. I thought you were running it from your desktop.
Nah, that's where Leah plays. Leah plays on the desktop, and I get
Gotcha.
the shit laptop. And she
Gotcha.
also stole my monitor. No big deal. Don't worry about it, guys. It's totally fine.
What does she play?
She plays an R game on Thursdays.
Yeah, so Justin's D&D game, Leah, his fiance, plays in too.
Okay. So she gets the better setup to play. Gotcha.
Yep.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Good to hear, Sako. Yeah.
We're back.
Is it crashing completely, Justin?
No. It's just what happens. I just lose the full map and everything. So I have to reload reload the Chrome tab. I'll be back though. Don't worry. So yeah, I just want to get inside. I'm not seeing anywhere else that seems like it would be a comfortable place to sleep for at least a night, right?
Is
It's
that place
basically
big enough to set the treehouse inside?
Is what, Fox?
Is that place big enough, the one they're trying to get into, to set the treehouse inside?
It looks tall. I'll tell you that you can't tell for sure. If there might be, might be multiple stories inside. At least from the outside of the building, yes, but you don't know if it's one big open room or not.
Okay.
Well, Nora could tell you, but it does seem that after whatever Sarah had done there, the doors did start to not open, but just didn't seem like they were secured anymore. And you guys hear kind of clinking sounds. You look over and see Shok is starting a fire, just flint and steel, in the little kind of overhang area with Avar beside him.
Hey Norok, do you think it's a good idea to start a fire right here? I feel like we're not that far away from that, thing with all the teeth.
Yeah, he might be flying over any time, so I don't know.
Yeah. I don't want to go tell him no. I feel like that would be weird. Maybe what if we covered,
he's underneath the overhang. So there's still potentially be smoke,
okay.
but he's not under the, basically, so you guys see on the map there's like this little kind of pile of snow.
Yeah.
Well, the part that he's under still has a roof. It's just broken off yeah. So, there's still be a little bit of smoke, but, most of it's just going to be dissipated on the wind.
Oh, fuck this. Just go do that. We'll do this tomorrow. Let's lock it back up. Do whatever you did, undo that, and then I'm going to go put the lock back on it. I'm going to go over it.
I can't do that.
Well, no, that's
just not possible.
All right, you figured it out. I'm going over the fire.
Oh my god.
I'm running back.
Well, if we're
I'm
not going
back
in,
to where Shok is, and I'm going to lay down by the fire.
Okay.
Still invisible. But I'm getting heated
so when
up.
everybody else is trying to get around the fire, they're going to step on a prone halfling, laying.
I'm not going to
fire.
sleep. I will avoid people.
They're still going to get kicked. Just roll out of the way as they're trying to step by you.
Man.
It's just a soft spot in the dirt.
Yeah.
I guess if we're not going in now, I will set alarm up in front of the doors, so if anything comes out, at least we'll know.
Okay. All right. Then you're doing it as ritual. You speak, taking the time to. Okay. All right. So it'll take you 10 minutes then. Norok, are you moving over there as well?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Now I'll go ahead and drag you over.
I'm gonna see if taking off token animation. Ooh.
All right, Sako, I'll move you over. Fox, are you still? Are you preparing the tree or anything, or are you gonna go by the fire and warm up? You're still pretty chattery.
I'm gonna warm up first, and then I'll prepare the tree. For some reason, I can't move myself.
There's a lot of walls that are hidden in this map.
There's a couple of spots that are invisible walls, like just over ledges and stuff. Try moving yourself now, Fox. What, Becky?
I didn't realize I still had first level spells, so I will use it as a spell instead of a ritual.
Okay. All right. And you're just going to cover the doors?
Yeah, just the two doors up there.
All right, cool. It's just a double door set there.
Yeah, for some reason I can't move myself. I'm pressing the WASD and it just nothing.
The WASD works? I've never tried that. Let me turn off the weather effects and see, because weather effects
It normally works.
Okay, I've never tried. The weather effects are usually the biggest. Yeah, it does. I've just tried it. I didn't notice that, Fox. Anyways, you're usually the biggest hit on the frame rate, so that might help Justin too.
Mm-hmm.
Got my frame rate down again too.
Cool.
But still happening. I'll figure it out.
Well, I just turned off weather, so it might take a minute further to, kind of filter through. All right. Shoke then, has finished the fire. Just with there's plenty of piles of wood and everything nearby. There's enough to kind of utilize in here. This place is essentially built for this purpose, or all the current use rather is for these little treks by the Yogg to come up here and bury their dead underneath this temple, down in the caves beneath it. So that the amenities are still here for that, it seems, but whatever energy is in the area doesn't appear to be impeding you guys in any way at the moment. So what are you guys doing?
Are we resting here for the night and then going through the doors?
I mean, I'm very tired.
We're pretty exhausted right now. Like, that took a lot out of us.
I'm just very scared about being outside right now. I want some sort of, wall in front of us and on the roof if possible.
You see Avar look around. I see 2 at least. We've got... Is you want more than 2, don't you?
I'm so tired.
Pogo likes to be inside.
He's an indoor kid.
I like a nice warm drink and a cold woman to snuggle with. I want her to be a little bit mean. Not too much, just a little. You'll get that joke, Avar, when you're older. It's fine. What are we? I mean, we can hang out here. I'm just we're pretty close to that dragon, and I mean, as long as the wind keeps up, probably won't see the smoke. Any of you guys know if that's any of you guys good at nature? Like I don't think I'd see it, but then again, I feel like you're all much better at seeing things than I am, and I imagine a dragon's probably better than you. I'm saying if you could see the smoke in this, then he can probably see the smoke in this.
Well, we could see a bit of the smoke, but then when we're looking for it, we could see where it's coming from the distance. It might be a bit different.
And imagine it smells it too.
Probably.
Oof.
Okay, once I'm warm enough, I'm gonna go out and put the treehouse,
Okay.
just outside.
Okay. Yeah, it'll work right there.
Well, at least in the treehouse. Maybe we can make... Can you make the treehouse any color you like?
I can make the dome transparent or any color I like. I can make the light inside any color I'd like. I can regulate the temperature.
Maybe we can make the dome white so it just looks more like snow. I feel like that. I feel more safe there. That sounds more safe than here. Doesn't sound great, but doesn't sound terrible. Like if I had to choose between this room that has a couple walls, half a roof, and cold as shite, I would rather take the large white bulb and sleep in there.
My plan had been to put the treehouse in the other building, but I decided not to go in, so...
One sec, guys. I think Ben and Becky lost connection. They dropped out of...
Internet drop or something?
Dude,
Yeah,
this is a weird Foundry tech issue night.
Well, that would just be... Like, they dropped out of Discord and out of Foundry, so that would be their internet.
Yeah, it's like a weird tech problem night, though. We had the Sako audio issues. We got me with some crashes. We got... yeah, it's just weird. More than the usual.
Yeah. Not Fox this
The
time.
case has been lifted.
No, it hasn't, but,
Are you back, G?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep.
Becky's lost.
Did you guys... Okay.
Welcome back.
You guys... Okay, yeah, it just seemed like since you guys lost Discord and Foundry, I assumed it was your guys' internet. Are you guys back in Foundry too? I don't see you logged back in yet.
Yeah, but we can cover it with we can make the top of it white instead. And I mean, honestly, we could put like leaves on top if we want.
Decorate the temporary
drape another tree, cut off some branches and throw them on top.
I could just do a ritual, make a tree grow, and then make the treehouse under the tree I already made to literally have it under cover.
Grow two trees, grow the tree house, and then a big tree beside it to be.
Well, no, I'd have to make the big tree first because I can't.
How many trees could you make?
Yeah.
2. I can make 2 trees. Well,
yeah, technically.
In theory, I can make as many trees as I want.
What if we just made a fucking load of trees, then we put the thing in the middle? It'd be adorable. We'd cut down on the wind. We'd help with global warming.
Do you know how long that would take? Considering
I have
it
no
takes me
idea.
like an hour to make any tree to begin
Oh,
with.
let's not do that then. Don't do that. In fact, don't even just make a treehouse so I can sleep.
Wait, is it a good idea to make a new tree?
Becky, I'm still hearing you. Hang on, Becky. I'm still hearing you through Ben. Oh, now say something.
Hello?
There we go. All
There
right.
it is.
Okay. Is it a good idea to make a new tree in an area that a dragon is familiar with? I mean, I just don't want him to come investigate being like, where the fuck did this tree come from? This wasn't here before.
We determined that the dragon shows up on Thursdays, right? Or
Yes,
was-
he's got a standing appointment.
Oh, wasn't it every like 3 days?
Well, it was about every 3 days. It was Monday and then Thursday last time, and it's Monday now.
Yeah.
It's Monday evening now, meaning that you can expect that he's going to go flying out for hunting, presumably
Okay,
tonight.
so our best bet was definitely be to put the treehouse in the bigger building.
Well, okay, but to clarify though, he didn't fly up this way when he went hunting. He flew down towards the plains and down towards the
Fair
village
enough.
and so on.
So we might be safe.
Yeah, but also remember, it's not that the tree will potentially have some amount of camouflage if you do make the orb opaque and white.
True.
It wouldn't look like a
Okay.
tree because the dome is on top of the tree, so it's cradled in the tree. So if the dome is opaque and white, it wouldn't be necessarily visible or wouldn't stand out against the snow at least.
Okay, I'll
And
do
if
that.
we're being honest, like he might not be looking for that. Like he might just see it and be like, "Nah."
I'll tell
I
you
don't
too
care. I'm just saying I'm too tired to face a dragon.
Well, if a dragon comes down, we're beelining it for the inside of that other building. I'm telling you right now, I'm running. You shove that child inside your backpack, Norak, and we run.
The child that Pogo's been pissed was ever brought along in the first place.
I'm officially over it. I'm gonna run at my tiny quarter of a already half speed.
Actually, you could just jump on the broom. I'll take you over.
I'm
So
just
the
out.
broom
I'm
goes
not just
6
letting you know that I'm leaving. I'm going in the other building. Whatever's in there cannot be as bad as a dragon. And if there's another dragon in there, I'm gonna be so mad at Norak.
He just run from one dragon to the
Sounds
next.
like a plan.
This person, we're just doing this. Never mind. Forget it. It's fine.
It's
So
fine.
it's basically out of the frying pan and into a worse frying pan.
Or as
Or out
Justin
of the
put it,
freezer
Pound
into
sounds
the
so
frying pan.
good right now.
as Justin put it, Justin literally used that same idiom on Thursday,
Yeah.
but it was out of the frying pan and into the fryer.
Yeah, I couldn't remember what it was.
Okay, but in this case, it would technically be out of the freezer and into the frying pan, depending if it's a fire dragon we're facing instead of a frost dragon, you know?
Yeah. Could
I
be
could go
could
for
be
a
out of the
frying
freezer
pan
and
right
into
now.
the.
Right, I'll just lay right down.
Fox, is that where you wanted the tree? Was the circle that you put there?
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'll move it over.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. So tree, dragon shows up, we all just hightail it into the temple.
All right, tree is up then. Oh, I'm gonna move the dome back over. There you go. So tree is up. Arteme finishes the ritual. The tree kind of grows right beside where you're kind of even getting this remaining ambient heat from the fire that Shok built, since there's still kind of the heat rising, of course, going up by the tree nearby. So it's able to kind of absorb some of the natural heat as opposed to the still comfortable but unnatural version that the dome itself creates. But it is there. You guys are able to hop in. Arteme is now kind of stuck in there for the evening, but
And how long does it take her to make that?
10 minutes.
All
11
right, so I'm
minutes.
still invisible, I think, probably at the end. So I'm going to warm up a little bit by this fire just to kind of unfreeze my bones, and then I'm going to go on a quick walk around this area and see if there's anything that looks of import. So I'm looking specifically, thinking this is some sort of, burial site or holy sites. I'm looking for things like relics or signs that, holy symbols, things of that nature.
Okay.
And then yeah.
Go ahead and it'll be some time as you're walking around, and I'll have you make some checks there. What's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna go up in the treehouse and get comfy and check my scroll because I do not remember the last time I checked that.
Okay.
Well, if Sarah's coming up, I'm going to sneakily feed the broom, like the mimics on the broom,
Okay.
and read my medical book.
All right. Give me a sleight of hand. Here's the thing. I don't know how distracted she'd be by just opening a scroll case and looking at a piece of paper. So trying to surreptitiously stick food to some coins, or stick coins rather to the broom rather.
No, the coins are already on the broom. Like they stay on the broom the whole time.
You're just leaving them on there? She's gonna notice that.
That's what you're supposed to do, but they're near the branches, so she hasn't noticed. I told her I was doing it.
on a broom.
Yeah, I'm leaving 2 coins on a broom because they'll turn into brooms. They're mimics. They're baby mimics.
They stick.
Yeah, I didn't realize that you were leaving them on all the time. I thought you were sticking them to them to eat and then taking them back off.
No, they won't grow that way.
All right.
Wait, do you have
she's gonna have noticed.
Feed a mimic? Do you have to feed a mimic that looks like a broom to another mimic, or do you have to feed those little baby mimics actual brooms?
No, you have to. Okay, so
it seems a little cannibalistic to me. I'm just curious.
For the mimic, it will mimic whatever it's close to when it's fed. So if it's on the broom when it's fed and stays there, it will mimic the broom. Allegedly, once it hatches or whatever. So
evil little leeches.
So I put 2 of them on there, and I'm feeding them daily. And I told Sarah they'd be on there, but that she didn't have to deal with them.
I'm pretty sure Pogo doesn't know anything about those, by the way. I think
no, he doesn't.
He has no idea. So
this would have been.
Remembers that.
It would have been
had that
right
conversation
before.
Because I said they're going to be on the broom because we need more brooms. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to put them. I'm going to hide them so you won't have to see them. And you're normally at the front of the broom, and you're at the back near like the broomy part. So you're like, okay, as long as I don't see them.
Okay,
right.
Is that a coin right attached to your female parts down there? What is that?
I don't think Sarah realized that it was going to be all the time. I thought she thought it was going to be like at night.
Okay.
And she's sleeping.
Well,
Artemis, if she doesn't notice, then I mean, whatever. But she may have a problem if it's there while she's sitting on the broom.
Artemis, give me a medicine check. You'll still have your exhaustion level, so you know it'll be whatever D8 I think it is. But apart from that, just a regular medicine check's fine. And Becky, you were going up into the dome as well, right? In the treehouse.
I was, but it's not letting me move myself for some reason now.
Okay, so Fox had that too a minute ago, and I don't know why. I'm not seeing anything on my side. Like I don't see any errors over here that would be causing that.
Kicked me out of the game for a second, so I had to reload it.
Well, that was when your internet went down, or again after?
Just before it went down.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing any errors or anything. Everything seems fine on my side.
That won't do it.
Nope, not with that.
No, definitely not.
I mean, they as far as you can tell, they're alive, and you know they seem to be perfectly fine. But you're not, you know, nothing stands out as abnormal. Oh, you only have a D6 because you only have 2 exhaustion. All right. Sarah, in checking, I think I told you this last time too. Remind me after the game is over, Becky, and I'll give you the notes of what the thing says, because there's specific instructions that he wrote back for you last time that you checked it, and I told you to remind me after the game, and then I forgot too.
Right. Okay.
So remind me afterwards, and I'll send you the note in Discord.
All right.
You were to clarify, you were checking your scroll of telescription, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't remember the last time I checked it.
It was, I think, right before you guys ran into Meadow Lake and found Avar. I think it was that night. The last night that the dragon attacked, which would have been Thursday, Thane's Day night. All right, what is Nazim doing?
Okay, Nazim is putting primary focus on comfort and rest because he really needs to rest up, super tired, but without sacrificing the rest. Nazim would like to look around this area for anything that might help him on his personal journey. Okay. Kind of a long shot, but just to see if there's anything that may help him with his path.
Okay. You and Pogo are kind of very slowly at half
speed. I'm still
speed.
invisible, by the way.
That's fine. I just mean that you're both like meandering around, you know, very exhaustedly and, you know, at half speed. Essentially, you'd have to kind of wander around in here. It does seem, you know, quiet. Like you don't see any threats or anything like that. So you don't feel, you know, like you need to be particularly careful. But in looking around, it's going to take you some time, is what I'm saying. So I'll have you both make some checks here shortly. What's Nork doing, G?
just gonna kind of just walk around a little bit and keep checking things out, and enjoying the place again, and then probably go in the treehouse.
Okay. All right, so that'll be all three of you then wandering around. Let's see. We'll start then with Pogo. As you guys are kind of wandering around and looking, Avar does climb up into the tree as well, with Sarah and Arteme in there, sitting in the dome. Shok stays out by the fire. He's just kind of sitting there, and you see him. Anybody that is looking in his direction, you would see him kind of taking his gloves off and looking at these kind of these very blackened hands, specifically. Well, you guys probably wouldn't recognize this portion of it, but hands. So blood travels to whatever the lowest point of the body is when the heart's no longer pumping it, right? And his hands, especially his fingertips, are black. Like the middle of the hand down is just black because the blood had pooled there essentially while he was dead. And he just seems to be kind of staring over these kind of slow moving hands in an awkward fashion. For Pogo, give me a little more clarification. Not just religious iconography, but I guess in what sense? What kind of religious iconography are you?
I'm looking more for things that are not tied down. Something of
that is
artifacts.
not what I got from. Okay, no, I see.
More
when
like
you said artifacts, I was thinking religious relics, not
even
things
if
you
it's
could steal.
Yeah, and even if it's not like gold or silver or something like that, just something like I'm thinking like the end of Indiana Jones and the temple, where he's like looking, he finds it's a cup, it's a basic cup, but it has importance. And I'm just curious as I take my invisible huddled self around, and I'm just going to glance up at things around this area and see if anything looks as though it has any value.
Give me an investigation check. And to be clear, nobody is going inside the temple, right? Everybody's just doing this out in the courtyard area? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that till the next day.
Okay. Then give me an investigation.
Minus D8.
No. Well, it'll already do the minus D8 for you, because we already had the... Oh,
Figured
okay. All right, cool. Well, it already had the minus D8 on there for you.
I did. I didn't do another D8. I just rolled.
Okay, all right, cool. I saw the D8 on there too, and I was checking the math to make sure that was all good. All right. You're extremely cold, and as you're kind of shuffling yourself around and just getting more and more exhausted with each little kind of trudging step, dragging your feet through the snow, and then remarking amusedly that you're not leaving tracks despite feeling your toes like kicking through the snow because you just start too tired to lift them up. You do make your way over to the northernmost building up there, up to this one up here. I just drag you over to it, and you get to the base of the steps. And you look up there, and there is what looks like it's supposed to have been a bookshelf, but it's been long since exposed to the elements, and whatever paper may have been there has long since rotted away. But there looks like a small, little stone, like a kind of imagine a plastic fruit bowl, like just a stupid bowl with plastic fruit in it, kind of thing. But it's all like one solid object, and it looks like it's made of marble, and that might be valuable. But you're at the base of the steps, and looking at there's only 4 of them, and you go to lift your foot to try to get up the first step, and that's going to be so exhausting. If you make it up there, you're probably not going to make it back down. You're going to need somebody to come and carry you.
How heavy do they look? They look big, like fruit bowl size big.
The bowl is probably like human size fruit bowl, let's say, cereal bowl with like marble fruit. Yeah.
All right. No, I'm gonna take a mental note, and I'm gonna go and
you feel like if you get some sleep first, and your legs aren't quite so heavy, that you could probably come back and throw that in your bag and be just fine. But it just feels really exhausting. Like you could probably make it up, but you're gonna have to have Nora come and carry you out.
I'm just looking around for right now. Just go back to the nice warm.
Okay.
Get inside the thing.
All right.
And then I'm gonna drop my invisibility once I'm inside. Actually, I'm gonna first cuddle up super close to Sarah, and then I'm gonna go right visible. What you reading?
Jesus. God damn.
Whew.
Twice in one day.
Is this a big journal? What is this?
It's the same scroll you've seen me open up a ton of times.
Is there anything new?
I'm assuming. Well, no, I haven't replied yet, so no.
All right.
There is a. So I'll give you the gist of what he says first, but I have the actual note to give to you too. Shit, actually, you wouldn't have... Okay, so we're going to have to retcon a little bit. You would have read the first step of this Thursday night. because it would have had to have been one page and then a second page is the thing. So you would see the second page now, as I'll describe that. The first page essentially boils down to that is far beyond the scope of your concern. I would suggest you not ask those kinds of questions again in the future, at least not outside of this tower. He's referring to the tower that he's in, which you know to be the tower at Hyrith. And he then, after that, essentially chastising you for asking. Do you remember what you asked about?
Yeah, the
Okay.
stuff we learned from the dude in the hut, right?
Yes, from Santhus, yeah. So it actually would have been, yes, it would have been that night, sorry. So it would have been the night in Meadow Lake after meeting Avar. Is when you last well, you sent it I think that Thursday, and then you checked it that would have been Friday. Anyway, that's the first part of it, and then the second part of it, he describes I'll be transcribing a new spell for you to learn. I expect you to study this and be fully prepared to cast this at your most competency or your most competent level when you arrive here. And that was the last of that page, and you hadn't seen the next page, which you now see. When you open it up as a full scroll, essentially, of a spell. In looking at it, it's going to take you some time to figure out how to do it. It's above what you can cast right now, but it is a spell for channeling energy. It's essentially a way to give your arcane ability to something else, to empower something else.
Well, if you need help with it, let me know.
It's beyond what Fox or what Arteme would be capable of as well, because it's a totally different
but
kind of magic.
I could still help learn it.
Yeah. I mean, you could probably, between the two of you, you can translate how to read it and everything. The practicing of it is what's going to take the most time, because
like if she needs any materials or stuff, I can help find them. The help isn't always just
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah, she'll.
I like spells.
She'll copy it down in her book, so she can study it and.
Oh shit here. All right, so here's the problem. Remember, when you read this, they disappear as soon as you read it, which means that you're going to have to transcribe it right now, and this is an awful time because of how tired as you are. So I'm going to tell you, because you've had some practice at reading his specific penmanship and his the arcane runes that he's translated to you in the past. I'll tell you that you can have advantage on the check, but you're going to have to make it somewhat rapidly. Give me an Arcana check.
Can I help transcribe it?
Well, she already has advantage, so it wouldn't really help beyond that. She rolled well, though, so that's good. Okay, yeah. Because if that had failed, you would have had to ask him to do it again, and he would not have been happy about that.
Yeah, I assumed, but she still would have asked.
So, with some assistance from Arteme, both of you kind of jotting down every bit of it as you can. You know what? I shouldn't assume that. Would Sarah have shown the scroll to Arteme?
I don't.
Because I don't think anybody else has. I don't think you've shown it to anybody.
No, Sarah's always tried to find a quiet place just by herself with it. So no, I don't think she would.
Okay, all right. But either way, because like I said, from having read, specifically his essentially his penmanship, let's call it, the arcane version of that, you do manage to translate specifically what he's written and jot it down into your spellbook. I will tell you that Arteme, you do see her sitting there with her spellbook, though, looking at one page and then frantically scrolling into her spellbook. So it's clear that she's transcribing a spell. Like, there's really no way to hide that when she's sitting 5 feet away from you.
Afterwards, I don't care if she comes over and asks about it just initially, because I never know what he's going to say.
Yeah, it's usually not very nice anyways, so...
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. I'll transcribe it into my book, too. Just to be able to study it later when we're not so exhausted.
Sarah, you gonna let her do that?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, he hasn't ever told me not to share shit, so...
Yeah, he didn't seem to, tell you not to or make any things, any comments that would give you the impression that would, be a problem for him or anything. Yeah. As far as you know.
Yeah, so she's fine with that.
Where did I put Norok? I moved him somewhere, and now I can't find him. Ben, where did I put you? There you are. I see you. You're by the trees. Yeah. I lost him in the shadow up there. All right, then over to Nazim. Nazim, you similarly are, I would say, dragging your feet, but probably, levitating and expending as little energy as needed, basically, to move yourself around. I'll tell you that you're still mentally exhausted anyway, so you're still moving at half speed, but you are not having to actually drag your feet through the snow. In your kind of constant search for trying to find any things that might have the kind of relevance, let's say, without giving your reasoning the way that you worded your question away. Nothing particularly stands out here, but go ahead and give me a. This will be a flat Arcana check.
Okay, flat Arcana.
Yep. So nothing stands out specifically to you in the vein of the question you asked, I guess. Justin, do you drop off again to break again, or to Foundry crash? All right.
I'm playing around with some settings. So
okay.
I'll get through that. Yeah.
All right, Ben, are you back in? I don't see you in the Foundry list right now either.
I'm active and everything.
Okay. All right, cool. As long as it's working fine for you.
You may have to reload. I had to as well.
Yeah, I saw both when both of you guys dropped off after your internet went down. I didn't see you guys come back in. But I do see Becky now, but I don't see Ben yet. So, anyways, specifically, Nazim, in regards to what you're looking for, nothing stands out at all. This doesn't seem to be a place that might have those kinds of connections. But that said, not to waste your time, being of an efficient mind when it comes to using your time wisely, I guess is how I'd say. Still trying to identify the source and the kind of specifics as to why this kind of constant latent energy is surrounding here. You didn't recognize it as Corvalane, but you did recognize that there was a lot of somewhat negative magical energy specifically in this little valley here that is very active. And with that check there, you're not able to really narrow it down, but I'll tell you that as you're floating around, you keep getting constant pings, like under the snow off to the left over there, up against a wall off to the right over there, like all different places as you're kind of floating yourself around here, are sources of that same negative magical energy around here.
Gotcha.
And they're kind of surrounding, they're all over the place. Just little bits and pieces here and there. They're not moving, but they're recent, let's say, and they are static. Like you could probably triangulate one enough to be able to narrow in on it and look for it. You feel like, but it would take a lot of energy, and you're pretty exhausted. So, up to you what you want to do with that.
Copy that. I'll focus on rest for now, but that's noted.
Okay. Are you going to go back to the dome?
Yes.
All right.
Is Pogo still next to Sarah?
Probably.
All right, then
Just
she
relaxing.
Probably would have at least whispered to him that the magic on the door was similar to his new magic.
Oh, this bullshit that's going through me now. All right, fun.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to be on the other side of those doors, but I just wanted to give you a heads up.
Hope it's warm. Maybe it's another friendly fairy like that one we met in the forest. That'd be nice.
Yeah. You mean in the
I'd
village?
love it. No, the fairy in the forest when we were traveling through.
Oh,
That
no.
fairy. Loved her. Beautiful golden hair.
Oh.
Liked
No.
playing games.
Remember
So
Norok.
bad.
Very zesty.
Norok and Pogo saw
She's
her
a
as
spicy
beautiful.
meatball, if you know what I mean.
But those teeth, did you see the teeth?
Yeah, beautiful, gorgeous. She flosses. She must.
It was a mouthful of parallel needles, essentially, to Arteme and Sarah, but
Yeah.
not to Pogo and Norok. She did almost kind of accidentally end up killing Norok too. Like that was her goal, but it
How
did.
is she a good person? She gave you that weird fucking little thing that was flitting around you forever, so you couldn't cast shit.
But like, she seems like an interesting woman. What can I say? I'm attracted to problems. I don't know what it is about me. They're always fun. They're always more fun. It sounds strange.
Oh god, I hope someday you settle down and find a nice girl
That was terrible.
that doesn't
Sounds
try
terrible.
to kill you.
I mean, let's see. One day, perhaps.
Oh god. Okay.
As you guys are having this conversation, Shok has climbed up into the dome as well. Avar is like leaned against the side, like at the kind of inner curve of the dome, and already eyes closed and clearly starting to fall asleep. It's only at this point probably 6:45, maybe 7 p.m. Norok, you were the only one still out there wandering around in the in the kind of little basin caldera area where this temple is, and nearing the center where you'd made that little pyre there. In fact, let me go ahead and move you over. Making your way back towards the dome. What were you looking for? You said you were just enjoying it. You weren't specifically looking for anything?
Nothing in particular. I'm kind of just,
Okay.
taking it all in.
As you're making your way back towards the dome, you feel what feels like eyes on you. Like you get that kind of hair on the back of your neck standing up kind of feeling like something's watching you. This is below your passive, specifically because of your Sentinel Buckler.
Alright. And when I look around, I don't, see anything or...
Give me a perception check. It's going to be a flat roll. Hang on. What is it? Hit the Sentinel Buckler again for me real quick. I need to see the verbiage on that. Oh, let's see. All right, it doesn't specify, and I didn't say you had disadvantage, which means that you will go ahead and get advantage on this because this just basically says all perception checks essentially, and you wouldn't have disadvantage, specifically at this point. I wouldn't say advantage either, but the buckler will count it, so we'll give it advantage there. Well,
Sarah is not paying attention.
He's
mid conversation with Pogo.
No.
Yeah, and also, nope.
All right.
He's not within 30 feet of me, I don't think. Is he?
Maybe just.
Oh, it's not
barely.
that.
But you would have had to have been watching. And it's not something you would have noticed. Oh, he didn't notice that. Let me help him. You know what I mean? Like that would be kind of in combat. That's one thing. In something like this, I would say that would be pretty difficult to help him with. You do feel like you can still feel like something is staring right at you, like burning a hole in your skin, staring at you, kind of looking at, not any actual pain, like not necessarily negative, but when you feel this and you start looking all around trying to figure out what this is coming from, there is a booming, echoing voice that rattles through this whole caldera here, and it shouts in this kind of booming, vibrating, is enough of a boom rather to vibrate the small drifts of snow and loose icicles down off of eaves and rocks all around you. Where you guys are at, you're perfect. You're not below anything anyways, but you can see little chunks of icicles and snow drift off of corners of things. But in Vindian, it says, "Avar of the Antaros, I have need of you." And then there's a very brief pause. Everybody, all of you hear this, so all of you would have been kind of rattled, and Avar's eyes kind of open, and he starts to look up. And then immediately just after this pause, pardon me, "Norok of the Antaros, I have need of you."
And everybody can hear this because you said this is in Vindian, right?
Everybody can hear it and understand it. It's in Vindian, yes, and shit. Give me a flat wisdom check, G, with advantage.
Okay.
Good thing it was advantage. That was a 1.
Uh-huh.
All right. You recognize the voice as the same voice that spoke to you when you were last here, which was, by the way, it was a little over 3 months ago. It was in Sable Soul, and this is in Brandusk now. It was in July, and this is in October. Right. So basically, a little over 3 months ago was the last time you were here, and you heard a voice telling you to give into your rage and your resentment and your hatred over the death of Avar's mother. The voice, you knew it at that time as well, of course, but the voice matches what your tribal shaman Obo had always described as Kor, one of your kind of deified ancestors. It's he's been dead for centuries, but the shamans like Obo would come up here to commune with Kor and the other stone heads. So those 7 stone heads that are on the mountain up to the west over there, you can't see them on the map, but they're carved up into the faces like God damn it, our South Dakota, our presidents. Rushmore, thank you. Like Rushmore, but these are Yogg faces carved into the rock up there. And anyways, so Kor's face is one of those up there, who's in his spirit is said to protect this place, and his face is one of those that carved in relief up on the mountainside. The voice continues, "The dead have imprisoned me here. Free me so that I may once again protect our people."
And do I know where the sound is coming from, or which direction he wants me to go? Is he letting me know that, like in my head?
I'll tell you, he's not speaking in your head. This is booming. Everybody can hear this, and it's in Vindian.
All heard it.
Yeah, all of you are hearing this, and it's like with every word, it's like rattling the stones. It's so loud.
Okay, well, I'm not leaving the treehouse, so good luck.
I'm just gonna
Sarah,
yell
Yeah,
into
what?
the ether. I'm just gonna yell into the ether. I need some sleep. Talk to me in the morning.
Avar,
By the way, I don't know that everyone else could hear it. I'm just gonna assume that I'm hearing it in my fucking head because I'm very tired.
Avar's eyes are snapped open. I'm going to tell you that by the reactions of everyone else, you can tell that like you would immediately know that you're not the only one that heard it, because Avar looks like afraid. He was like falling asleep, and his eyes are wide. And he's like nervous and tense, like he's about to get up and run. Like he's preparing to run, thinking that you guys may need to. And Shok, by the way, is not responding. Shok doesn't. He's the only one that doesn't seem to like notice or respond at all. But Norok, now that you heard the booms and recognized the voice, it gives you kind of the reasonable response, let's say, to look up towards the heads on the stone wall up there, and sure enough, it seems like as the booms continue, as he's speaking that last sentence there, it seems to be probably coming from it there, as best as you can tell. The statue's faces are all, the 7 heads are all kind of faced down towards this little caldera, right to where you're standing, basically. And, the kind of booming echo seems to be coming from up there and then reverberating around inside of this little caldera that you're in.
Does that statue look like it has big, strong hands?
It's not a rock biter, and it's not a full statue. It's just the face, essentially. It's just the head sticking out of the wall.
That's a bust
The bust. Yeah, a bust would usually be like shoulders, like mid-chest and shoulders. Yeah, this is just the head alone, like 7 heads in a line, all looking down this direction. Yeah.
But if they're in a wall, then in theory, the wall is the bust.
Could be. Yeah.
I have a question. Did Norok ever tell us about this voice that told him to give into his rage?
He did not. I'll go ahead and tell you this, Ben. Well, you know what, Ben? It's up to you. If you would have done it out of, gameplay, essentially, that's fine. So up to you there.
No, I don't think that would have really happened, because, again, Nora probably wouldn't have talked a whole lot about his life and stuff until this point. I mean, he might a little bit more now being, experiencing it again, but no, it probably wouldn't have been anything that I would have said out loud.
And this would have been, just as a reminder for a time frame, his conversation that he had with basically similar to this, that happened a little over 3 months ago, was like 2 weeks before he met all the rest of you. Well, he didn't meet Pogo and he didn't meet Nazim yet, but he met Sarah and Arteme there on the slave ship. So he was captured by slavers this same night, basically 3 months ago.
All right, then Sarah would have gotten on the broom and gone above the dome to just kind of like look around and see if she could figure out where that voice was coming from.
As soon as you lift up out of the dome and look down and see Norok's head is craned upwards, looking right up at the hill, and up at the mountainside, and you see the same thing he does. The sentence continues as he finishes that there, and I would say that you come to the same conclusions. The voices must be coming from one of those heads up there, at least.
Okay.
You don't know which one Norok is specifically looking at, but you can tell that it must be one of those 7.
Hey, Norok, is this normal?
For me, kind of.
He had never spoken to you before. Yeah, so last time you were here was the very first time that Core, or whatever this voice is speaking to you, had ever spoken to you. But Obo and the other tribal shamans would commune with him regularly. Like, they would come up here once a week or so to try to, beg for boons and so on.
Yeah, and I'll just tell everybody, it's one of our, what you guys would call ascended. I don't know if, the Yogg call them that.
That's exactly what the humans, what most other species would. Yeah. Everybody has their own names for them, but yeah, that is the Yogg equivalent, essentially.
Good one or bad one?
Good one. He's always protected us and, made sure the hunts go well and harvests and, yeah.
Okay, so then we can't ignore this voice and get a night's rest?
Oh,
Tell him that
he was
in
quiet after that, by the way. So it's been at this point, it's been a solid minute since it last spoke, and it hasn't spoken again since.
Do you think he'd be mad if we slept first and then went and helped him?
Well, if we don't, then we might be stuck in there with whatever's trapping him in there too, and then we'll be yelling at people when they walk by here.
I am going
Great,
to
sleep.
I am going to kind of climb out of this thing, and I'm going to just cast suggestion into the ether. And I'm just going to say,
Did you tell the world to just leave you alone and
yeah,
let you sleep?
I'm gonna just to try it. I'm tired. I'm just gonna kind of like lean out into the ether and go, please give us 8 hours of rest. That's it.
Sako, did you know that the
little
name of
thing.
the image, like that's just the rock biter, but the name of the image is Upgraded Rock?
What?
Oh, so in that part, I think
Yeah.
that's probably from like one of the shitty sequels, but because that's not the scene from the original movie. I don't think
Oh,
that was
no, that's like the
Yeah.
third
That
one, I
almost-
think, or something.
yeah,
I was gonna say it almost looks like a 3D printed version of him.
kind of, because the eyes look
Yeah.
wrong. Like the eyes are not what they look like in the original
Yeah,
movie.
it's probably some fan art or something.
It could be, yeah. But it was just funny that the image was called Upgraded Rock because he's holding. Remember the limestone thing from the first movie where he's talking about these. That's the great strong hand, or right before the great strong hands scene. Anyway, but the suggestion drifts out into the ether. You don't see any response.
I'm gonna lower back into the dome and just sit down.
Okay.
'Cause
You feel like
Spark
it potentially
thinks
could
it's
have
fine.
Pogo, but whatever that voice came from was further than 30 feet away from you, so it wouldn't really have, even if you had a general target, it may not have landed, but at the very least, it wasn't within range, it seems. But other than that, it's been quiet. Like, there hasn't been any noise. It's been, 2 minutes now of Norok just staring up at these stone heads. What are you guys doing?
Well,
Use some rest, I guess.
Yeah. if
I
we're
was
not
going to
doing
ask
anything-
before we go to sleep, Arteme, do you have the ability to maybe help us with our exhaustion before we go to sleep, and then we get woke up more refreshed?
Um,
I'll be right back, guys. Gotta take this phone call real quick.
That's such a good movie.
Didn't you still have some of that tea that helped with exhaustion?
I should.
The Red Bull tea. She can actually brew it if she has the stuff.
I should be able to brew it, actually. Where is it?
I'm looking for it too. I don't remember the specific ingredients and everything. Something thistle tea.
I'm gonna have to look through my notes.
Every time I search tea, I'm finding tear. OneNote search isn't very good.
Hang on, let me see if they're in mine.
Yeah,
I
see
know
if you
we
can find
probably-
it. Because I don't remember specifically how. I remember it was specifically to I think temporarily pause essentially the effects of exhaustion, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But it's been a while, so if you can find it, we can confirm.
It was
don't s-
after we joined the chain of dogs, right? But
Well,
we
I was
were-
thinking maybe. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it would have been after that.
Arteme maybe can use that magic little crown of hers to cast one of those nice little healing spells that takes away some levels of exhaustion for a few of us.
It's tea for a regular kind of guy.
No, nope. That was helps with mine. Should be around here somewhere though.
There's mention of red mint tea, but I don't remember what they'll do.
Let me see. Red mint.
Yes.
Oh, I found red mint tea. Let's see. For reducing exhaustion and somnolent for inducing sleep. I think I probably had that in your notes because that would have been that was in 2019 actually.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was
completely
still
forgot about the teas, actually, because I would have
Yeah.
made some the whole time we were doing these trials, if I remembered.
probably would have been useful.
Yes.
I
It's up
just
to-
remembered.
Yeah, it's up to you
I
guys to remember
still
your
don't
characters, not
even.
me.
I still don't even remember what we're talking about.
That would have been November of 2019, so literally 2 years ago. Arteme learned a couple of alchemic formula, and one of them was red mint tea for reducing exhaustion. But I think the notes probably were from those were probably still in Fantasy Grounds, if I remember right. Let me
Yeah.
see if I
Yeah,
have
well,
that.
the notes I'm looking at are in like my character's channel.
Okay.
But
Ignore
I
exhaustion
fed
effect.
some tea to the kids too, and good berries and
Yep.
stuff like that. But
Yeah,
I just mentioned tea. I didn't mention which kind.
Okay, it probably would have been that because you knew that they were, facing exhaustion at that time too, because they kept having to be used for moving earth and everything. When
Yeah.
you essentially used children as digging, tunnel digging tools.
It was our only option.
And then two of them died out of the three.
hey, we weren't even around for the first one.
It's fair, but Becky as a player has very little concern for the deaths of children when it comes to D&D.
They were fake children.
You've got a history of letting children die or directly murdering them.
They weren't even real.
It's a game. None of them are real.
Well, no, I mean, even in the game, they weren't real.
They'll just pick it on you. The Red Mint Tea Fox is somebody can only benefit from the effects of it once per day, but you ignore exhaustion effects for up to 1 hour after drinking. It's essentially like caffeine. And con save with increasing DC for each subsequent day of use. So if you try to use it day after day after day, you have a chance of it not having any impact on you.
Yeah.
So it only lasts for an hour.
Yeah.
Which still, I mean, if you guys know that you're going into something, would be potentially useful.
Yeah, if you brew it ahead of time and pass it out, we can all just take a shot of it.
Yeah, I'll definitely
before we
brew
go
it
in.
when we get up. But I had made like premixes to where it's just all the dry ingredients together, so it's like little packets, like tea packets.
Yeah,
so
I remember.
brew it.
Yeah. You told me. I remember you mentioning that actually. So yeah. So I mean, you'd still have those in the bag of holding anyway. So if you wanted to make some, you can. You just need, just add water essentially and boil it.
Yeah.
Or I don't know if you boil it for tea or not, but at least get it hot.
So what I will do to help people sleep though is make the somnolent tea, so the sleepy tea.
Okay.
But I guess I'll take first watch while I'm still studying the medical book.
Okay.
So
you do. For Justin's question, how are you going to respond to what Pogo asked?
Sorry, what was the question again?
You cast some of that crazy magic that takes away some of our exhaustion, so we're not quite as
right.
exhausted. I mean, I figure we might as well try to do that before you go into your wicked cool trance thing. And then we take a nice sleep and wake up with at least less feeling like we're going to die.
Okay, so I'll cast Greater Restoration at 6, and then which should give me extra people.
Does it? Does it do additional targets? Let's see. Will you click it for me? You got a bajillion spells in here, so. Justin, you thought mine's bad. If you ever look at a higher level druid,
it's all of them.
My
Scroll
god.
for it. Oh yeah, you've seen it. Yeah. Well, you've seen level 10, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, required materials, Fox.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. So I did not realize that one required it. Again, that's something that you guys.
You know
need to
what's
know.
really goofy? I noticed this a while ago, and I just shut the fuck up. I was like,
Okay.
you know what? Maybe Jeremy just doesn't play with that rule.
No, I definitely do. When it comes to
I've legit
anything that-
not taken spells because I'm like, well, fuck, I don't want to do that. We go to a city once a year.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that's true, but you have. I'll tell just so that everybody's on the same page because a lot of us fails. At least Sarah has easily been able to acquire practically any reagents that were needed from Ozzy. So remember, you guys have like a hookup for an extremely high level
He
mage
gave me
that
all my shit for the teleport spell so we can get back.
yeah.
He's gonna look over Norak. Is she having sex with Ozzy for things?
No!
Is she is Ozzy her sugar daddy?
Oh my god.
Strange, she just gives her stuff for all her spells. I don't know.
He's like a mentor.
All right.
He's helped me out with some spells too. Jeez.
Yeah.
I
I don't think
mean,
you're helping the argument. Fox.
I mean,
You know
good
what?
for him.
You
You know,
guys
honestly,
asked.
it explains why he's always tired every time we reach out to him. Didn't realize he
Doesn't
had such
seem
an
to help
active.
me or my melted face.
He's got such an active
You know what?
social life.
Yeah. If he's doing that, then like if that was the case, then why does Nazim still look like that?
You know what, Pogo? I
Active
think you
social
should
life.
ask. You might get lucky.
Maybe. I mean, he seems like a nice enough fella.
So Fox, you don't have. I did not notice that I should have noticed, but I did not notice.
I didn't notice it either. Okay,
Yeah,
that's like so tiny that I literally did not see that.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, sorry."
So.
You okay, Pogo?
Yeah, it's a shame actually because you probably would have been able to pretty much wipe out everybody, like having a 6th level and 2 5th and 2 4th. I think you have right now. You probably
It's
could have
got
wiped
some
out
jewelry that we can just mash around. And
anybody.
Don't we
who
still
died
have
in
some
Smith?
little loot that Pogo stole? Because I don't think we.
I think
sold
we
it
traded it
all
all
yet.
in.
Yeah,
I
he
think we
traded it all
traded it
in.
all in.
Oh, you
Yeah.
traded it all in. Okay,
But you
damn.
guys, I mean, you had a huge hoard. Well, you had a huge hoard of gold after that. Not just the
Yeah.
stuff that Pogo stole from the ship, but remember the
But he
at the
needed-
Hakapan.
Yeah, and he needed to look
Yeah,
pretty.
but we
as
haven't been to like a shop
point to
to where I could buy
Nazim.
anything yet either.
Yeah, but I mean, if you guys keep these things in mind, you can probably, Ozzy can probably acquire these things for you, or get them through the quartermaster or whatever. So,
Well,
but either way, you don't have any diamond dust now. So, what's
we
that?
also have to
Okay,
go to
damn.
the city relatively soon. So.
Yeah, you'll be
Yeah,
at some point. You're
we'll
going to have to go
get
in
closer.
both into the capital in Mist, and then you're also going to have to go to the tower at Hyrith before long. Which
Yeah.
They're,
have
Which I'm
all of
looking
the
forward to
stuff.
because spells.
they're relatively close, though, right?
Hyrith is away southeast of the capital. You'd probably teleport to the capital, most likely. Yeah, to get there. Yeah, which is also last that you know. Well, okay. Just to, I guess, remind everybody a little bit of story of what's happening elsewhere right now. Clover, remember, who you guys saw Clover again when you went back to the Crow Fort, but it turned out to not be her. Remember?
Yeah.
So she's still missing, and as far as you know, and the last place she was in the capital.
Yeah, but they gave us a couple weeks before they wanted us to go to the capital, right? That's
You have like 5 weeks, yeah, like 5 more. Oh, before you go to the capital? No. You have like 5 more weeks before. It was 6, but you guys have spent 1. 5 more weeks before Maibi will be awake and ready to plan. Essentially sending you guys into Vabi, so south, not north, to try to probably assassinate political leaders there.
Right, so we should probably hit the capital before that point, because I at least have to get my tests done before that.
Yeah.
Because Corin's Angeles will be pissed if I do not, because I told him I could get it done early.
Yeah. And I'll tell you that when you were reading your scroll of telescription, there was a lot of haste in his words. Even the scrawling of the script was definitely written in haste.
Yeah.
Especially the chastising portion, telling
To
you not to
answer
ask
those
about
questions,
the
I could, but I don't have the materials.
I'm always getting in trouble.
You're an awful student.
Apparently.
Don't do your homework on time, and
Yeah.
Shan ate your homework.
Which reminds me, I will take second watch just so I can spend that hour studying.
Okay. All right. Everybody is in the dome then and getting ready to sleep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Yeah, asked her about that. Still very tired. I'm just gonna make sure that the kid knows to not leave the bubble. You're gonna sleep here, right? We're gonna get our strength and then we're gonna keep going tomorrow, right, kid?
He slumped over to one side and his eyes are already closed, and he kind of flutters them open again. And I'll tell you that this is like so this kid was terrified 3 minutes ago and is already starting to fall back asleep again. That's how exhausted he must be. So his eyes kind of flutter open to look at you and kind of gives a very a curt one nod, shake of his head, and then his eyes kind of
nod.
What's that?
Do I believe his nod?
Give me for a insight check rather.
I already did it. So it's
I'm
on the
gonna
board.
I
pass
didn't see it.
out the Salmonate tea to
Okay.
everybody else
Okay.
to help them sleep. I'm gonna put Sarah's beside her and tell her to drink it after her watch because I might not be able to wait for her to drink it before.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Okay.
I'll take
Well, that's
the
going to be
watch.
in 4 hours, so you might as well just wait and give it to her then, because your watch is 4 hours if you're going to go first.
True. Yes.
It'll be pretty cold by then.
Fair enough. I'll make it to wake her up with.
Sure.
Well, no, isn't the dome temperature controlled?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean, it's temperature controlled for it to not. Okay, You guys understand how endothermic energy works, right? So,
Sorry. Oh, sorry. She was thinking like frozen tea, like she'd pick it up and it'd just be like a block of ice.
Oh, I assumed it was hot tea.
Yeah, it's a hot tea, so it'd be cool.
No, but I mean, like when she woke up because of where we are. She doesn't mind drinking cold tea.
Gotcha, but not as long as it's not a
the
block of
tea
ice.
would be cooled off. It'd be like room temperature instead of like piping hot.
Yeah, at this point she doesn't care. She's tired.
Pogo, you know, looking over at Avar, though, his eyes had, after that nod, he'd already looked like eyes were already kind of starting to flutter, and your own kind of you blink and like it takes you a like effort to really try to peel your eyes back open again, and by then his eyes are already shut. You don't know whether he meant his nod or not.
All right.
You're too tired as well.
I'm gonna go just lay my tiny head down.
All right.
Okay, so who's all taking tea?
Oh, and watch.
Wait.
So Arteme is going to do the first 4 hours, and then Sarah's going to go for 1 hour.
I'll
for 2
do
hours rather.
Yeah.
I'll do the watch after her.
Okay. All right.
As we get full rest, I can help with the watch too.
Well, so technically, if Arteme is doing one of them, she covers 4 of the hours, and then 2 people need to do 2 hours. So, but you're welcome to be awake during, you know, either of the others as well, or any of the amount of time. It doesn't matter. As long as you have 6 hours of sleep, you're fine. So if you've got something you want to do, like if you want to read a book or anything like that for another 2 hours, then you can do that too.
I would say Pogo probably wants to stay up because he's still not feeling super safe here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll probably do 6 hours, and then I'll spend 2 hours just poking around those hot spots that I was sensing.
You can't do you have to do very light activity. So if you're just flying, you know, floating yourself around and looking around, that's fine. But you can't do, like, if you get in a fight or anything like that, or any harsh activity for 1 hour or more, then you reset. You won't get the effects of the long rest.
Oh, okay. Scratch that. Take a nap.
Okay. I only point that out because if something happens and you're stuck out there, you know, and can't get back in, you know, within a certain amount of time, it's basically it's 1 hour of up to light activity is fine. Anything more than 1 hour is when you don't get the effects of the long rest.
Understandable.
Okay. All right. So you're just going to stay in there then? You can still, you know, be awake or, you know, light activity stuff for an hour, for 2 hours rather during the time.
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of rest up, do my full 6, and then just kind of sit around and make sure nothing's going on.
Okay. All right. Then as everybody settles in, Arteme kind of keeping an eye out, watching occasionally. There's still just kind of this light blanket of snow that has settled on the top of the dome. You've made it white, of course, anyway, but you're still able to see out of it regardless of how opaque it appears from the outside. But even just looking up, you know, that the sky is being blotted out slowly by this kind of thin blanket of snow settling on it. Let's see, it was only about 7 or so at that point when everybody started to go to sleep, some with the effects or some with the benefits of the somnolent. Your watch about comes to an end, Fox, and nothing seems to be untoward. It seems to be relatively safe. There hasn't been any further communication from the Stoneheads, and you know your time comes where it's, you know, your meditation finishes. Your whatever your, you know, watch time is, or sorry, meditation rather, is time to begin. So your watch being, you know, coming to an end. What are you doing?
I'm gently gonna wake Sarah up and then take a cup of tea myself.
Okay. All right. You sipping the tea lightly and kind of settling in to do your meditation, your trance. I couldn't remember the trance. For your 4 hours, Sarah awake. It is quiet. You can just, like, it's not cold actually, but the psychological feeling of being surrounded by this, kind of somewhat exposed on this mountain, the same as you've, you know, been for a little over a week now at this point, you still get this kind of subtle chill, even realizing that you're not actually cold and you're in a nice temperature controlled environment. But you kind of looking around, everything's quiet. What are you doing?
So it's not like a blizzard outside, right? It's just like lightly snowing, very little wind.
From what you can see, yes. I'll go ahead and tell you that Arteme told you the blizzard would still be going for a while, but you guys are in this kind of little protected caldera where the blizzard is blowing above you. You just can't see it because there's a little blanket of snow on top of the dome.
Great. So I'm going to send Noctua out just to kind of run a perimeter around the area just to make sure she doesn't see anything.
Okay.
And while she does that, I am spending my entire time studying this goddamn spell that I have to learn super fast.
All right. Give me perception checks. It would be with advantage because of her keen senses, but it would be disadvantage because of the snow and the kind of the environment. Let's say, like, she's an owl; she can see through the dark just fine, but with the kind of thick snow all the way around, she's not able to see quite as far. So it'll be a flat roll perception check. You have to use her stats. If you have her, okay, yeah, you can just roll a d20 then.
Not bad.
Yeah. All right. You hear from her. She communicates with you. The kind of immediate sense of dread, like a terror, that you feel from her. She's off somewhere to the south a little bit, not really far, but far enough for her to be able to see what I'm about to describe.
As soon as she sends that, I'm snapping into her vision to see what the hell it is.
Okay, all right. Then you do so, and you kind of fall uncomfortably slightly inside the dome, kind of with the momentary shock of being sitting still and then flying, as far as your senses are concerned. So you kind of startle a little bit inside the dome. But through her vision, looking down the mountain a little ways, it's not super far. It's, you guys walked it, so you know it's not very far. Off of the side, you can't see where it originally came from. You see gargantuan white wings flapping, just blowing up this massive amounts of snow surrounding it, just kind of creating these little vortexes with its wings as it lifts off. And there's a cacophonous screech that I will tell you all of you guys can hear, and those that didn't drink the somnolent are probably awoken by. It doesn't appear to be near, but loud enough to be heard. I'll tell you that if you drank the somnolent, you probably sleep through it, especially with as exhausted as you are. But the what you expected to see, of course, the white frost that feeds is lifting off of the mountain, and some must be a cavern or something off the side, like a place that you guys didn't see, but that you kind of walked within somewhat close proximity to, as the dragon lifts off and then starts sailing its way, no longer flapping its wings, just kind of holding them still as it kind of sails down over the mountain, down slope.
Away from us.
Yes.
All right, then I will snap out of her vision and just let her know to just tighten the perimeter just a little bit, but still keep an eye out in case a dragon comes past wherever his cavern was.
Okay.
Towards us.
All right.
And go back to studying.
All right. She is extremely scared, but follows your orders, and kind of flies back towards about halfway, back towards where you guys are, and then just kind of flitting around as best she can, fighting the winds quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I was intentionally meaning for her to stay within the temple area.
Oh, okay.
Stuff, but I mean, now that
Okay.
she's seen him, just keep her within the temple area and just maybe out a little bit towards the front where he is, just to see if he comes this way.
Sure. Okay.
And then back.
Yeah, you wouldn't have needed to be very far outside of the temple anyway. Like, she didn't need to be a mile away to be able to see it. Maybe through the snow would have been a little more difficult, but she kind of knew what direction he would have been anyways and would have had an eye out for that. So, all right,
So
that's fine. Give me an Arcana check for. You haven't had the long rest yet. The effects of the long rest. So it's still going to be the D8, but an Arcana check for trying to study the spell.
All right. Well, I've at least got it written down. So.
Well, unless you had wanted some tea to keep for an hour.
Yeah, but you're already asleep, so
Yeah,
you would have had to have brewed, or you're already trancing rather. You would have had to have brewed the.
Well,
red
yeah,
mint
she
for
would have
it.
had to ask beforehand.
Yeah. And I'll tell you too.
Who wants tea?
Yeah, but also if you were to do that, I'll tell you that would fuck up sleep too, just
Oh,
because
sure.
it is essentially supposed to be caffeine equivalent or similar.
Did I roll? I rolled an 8 on the fucking D8. God damn.
All right.
Do I get 2 rolls for this 2-hour period that I'm studying, or just 1? Because that will depend on what I do here.
I'll say that we'll okay, just for future, because you probably need to do this a few times. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is a higher level spell than what you're capable of casting. So with a lot of practice and time, you might be able to get this one spell down. Doesn't mean you'll be able to cast at any higher level necessarily, but specifically the functionality of this spell to a limited effect. Let's say now. So we'll say that 1 hour of studying is enough time to give you 1 roll's worth, but it's going to take multiple rolls before it clicks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but
Or multiple successes, rather.
If I study the full 2 hours, do I make 2 rolls?
Yeah, we'll call it 1 roll per hour is what we'll do. That's fine. per hour of spent studying. But you're going to need multiple successes, kind of similar to the way that Fox or Arteme is studying, her medical books and things like that.
Oh, would I say supposed to do some rolls for that?
I'm gonna wait.
Okay. What are you doing at the other hour?
Well, no. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna wait to use my very last chronal shift.
I gotcha.
I was gonna re-roll, but I'm like, no. What if I fail the other one?
Okay.
I need to succeed on one.
Yeah.
So.
You gonna roll the other one then?
Yep. All right. Here we go. Shit. There it is. Damn it! Oh wait, no. I automatically re-roll. So.
Oh, okay. Reroll once because of halfling. Okay, well, 21. That's good enough. You get a decent grasp of what's that?
I should have used it.
Well, you didn't need to that time, but you would have gotten 2 successes there, yeah, if you'd use it on or potentially if you'd use it on the other one. All right, so in studying this, though, you see how it works, and essentially you are piggybacking off of somebody else. This isn't something you'll be doing on your own. It's intended to be cast in a ring or in a group of mages, and its purpose is to funnel every individual's energy into the same spell. What your understanding of it is not complete. You don't really know how it works yet, but you do understand the basic mechanics of it right now.
Would Sarah connect that this may have to do with getting to wherever the hell it is Coincentilus wants to go with that gate scroll I sent him?
I will tell you that, okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you that based on the haste and the clear excitement in the text when he writes to you specifically about the gate and his attempts to translate that spell, that's almost certainly why he wants you to know how the spell works.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that arcane gate, that kind of nonsense version scroll that you found a long time ago well, you didn't, I don't think he told you specifically what that's for, but yeah, that arcane gate scroll.
No, I did a check on it with Identify to figure out what it was.
Okay.
It was a half finished, so I wasn't able to finish the spell, but I knew what it was intending.
But that it was Abyssal Gate, yes. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see, this would be about 1 a.m. or so. It's, about time for your, shift, let's say, to end. What are you doing?
Well, if I haven't heard anything back from Noctua, I will wake up Pogo and start sipping on my tea.
Okay.
Oh, that was a fun night's sleep. What has it been, like a minute and a half?
6 hours, something like that. I don't know. I'm gonna drink this tea and go to sleep. Noctua's doing some rounds, so I mean, she'll let me know if there's anything out there, and I'll hopefully wake up after taking this tea. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, it's your watch. Good luck.
Anything weird? Anything weird happen? Anyone come try to?
Dragon took off down the mountain. That was about it.
You could see it. We're that fucking close. You could see
No, Noctua let me know something.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
I mean, he's not super far away from us. I mean, but there was a cavern that apparently he came out of or whatever, so. Yeah.
Okay.
But he's out hunting for the moment, so.
All right. Well, you get some rest, and I'll use my... I'm sure I won't fall... I'm sure I'll be fine. I'm probably not going to fall asleep. We'll be fine.
Right. If you start falling asleep, wake me up. If I don't wake me up because of this tea, like stab me or something.
I feel like that's part of the problem with like falling
out.
asleep. Like when you're not trying to fall asleep and you do, you're not gonna be like, I better wake someone up. You're just there to sleep.
No, I just mean like if you notice yourself like nodding off and waking up, wake my ass up because
it'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Give me a perception check, both of you. Sarah and Pogo both, since you guys are having enough of a conversation here, that Sarah's still awake and Pogo's still awake.
I will use my last chronal shift to re-roll.
Okay.
Mine's actually pretty good for me.
God damn! I guess I'll take my 9.
You guys looking at each other, Pogo, rubbing sleep out of your eyes and kind of glancing around after she mentions the dragon. The thinnest movement catches your eye outside the dome. There's kind of this thin blanket of snow over the top of it, but you have this kind of window of space where the tree is up covering up the bottom half. The bottom, let's say, good bit. So you only have a window. Let's say that's probably only 4 feet maybe of window. The whole way around. Like a big bay window essentially, but only about 4 feet tall, all the way around the dome. And something like flapping cloth catches just briefly. This kind of bit of movement catches your eye, and you look out of the dome to the west, and there is something humanoid shaped floating off of the snow, just staring at you out there, outside the dome.
Is Norak in the dome?
Yeah.
Or not Norak. Is Nazim in the dome? I'm gonna do a quick head check.
Everybody is there, including Avar.
Is Pogo
He
the
did
only
not.
one that notices this?
So
you see his head kind of snap in that direction. You look over
So
there.
I see the thing on the map. So I actually see this. It's not like I got I thought I saw something. Like I legitimately see it.
You look and it's
right.
it's there for sure.
All right. So Sarah, there's a weird thing over there. I don't want to scare. I know we're safe inside our happy little bubble, but there's something or someone floating over the snow. It's just staring at me. Does it look like any? Can I tell if it looks like any of the giant carved heads out of the wall?
No, it does not. It looks human in stature and shape. The features of a Yogg, although in D&D art and everything, they look just basically like big gray humans.
Sure.
Yogg in this world are a little more Cro-Magnon as far as the features are concerned, a little more very pronounced brow ridges and things like that. So the faces look very different, including the ones that are carved up in the stone up there. And this does not look like that. It looks human.
You want me to hit it with something and see if it's fucking real?
No, hold on.
I mean, we're on burial grounds.
I'm just going to go to I'm going to kind of tiptoe around.
Hang on, before you do, just real quick, Justin.
Sure.
Specifically because I'm only going to let you make this roll because you were going around and looking at the iconography. I took it originally looking for religious iconography, and I didn't understand why. I didn't realize you were just looking for things to steal. But in so doing, you still would have seen reliefs and Mephuan art, let's say. Give me a history check, I guess, on Pogo with advantage. You know what? It's not even that related. It's going to be a low DC. We'll do history check with a low DC.
All right. Yeah, I don't think I'd have advantage.
John Wayne Gacy?
15.
Yeah, that's funny. The looking over there, let's say the style of it's clearly an armored form with a long kind of billowing cloak is what caught your gaze. It's floating above the ground a little bit, and the wind is whipping its cloak around a little bit. It looks like a knight. It looks like a human knight, and the style of the weaponry and the armor, it looks very much like the reliefs you've seen in this Mephuan architecture here. You gather this is probably a spirit of or a dead Mephuan who occupied this place at one point.
I'm going to tiptoe to the edge of the bubble and wave my hand in kind of just a back and forth nature, non-threateningly. And any response from it?
Nope. Perfectly still, other than the wind whipping its cloak around. It never blinks. There's these kind of two glowing red embers in its helmet, and it doesn't. There's no blinking. It's just staring in your direction permanently.
I'm gonna be honest. I kind of just think we should ignore it tonight. I mean, I feel.
If I could pop my arm out and hit it with a firebolt and see if it.
No, why would you do that? It doesn't. It's not.
It can't get through the dome.
I know it can't.
I can see if it's real.
I don't want to see if it's real. If it's real, it can hurt me.
I mean,
if it's not real, then we could just.
We may be so tired we're hallucinating.
Shh. It's been a long night, and if we could just a few more hours, the sun might come up, and I mean that maybe it'll go away. Maybe it'll go back into whatever happy place it comes from, and we don't have to worry the whole group about it.
Artemis, this whispering has grown prominent enough that you being in a trance and not actually asleep would be able to be conscious enough to hear the conversation. I'll just point that out.
Okay, so I'm gonna look over and inside to see if it's actually real or not, and then go back to bed.
Well, so it's an elf trance. You're not sleeping at all. Like you don't ever sleep. The elves don't.
Yeah.
You just-
Well, okay. Go back
it's
to
like meditation.
trancing, then.
Sure.
After-
You look over. You do see exactly the object they're talking about. So you can you can't like get up and do anything. You to still get the long rest. You do have to continue the trance. I'm just telling you that you're conscious enough to be aware of
Okay.
it.
Well, I'm gonna decide to go check it out, and then just go back into my trance.
That's fine. Okay. Well, sorry, Becky, you were about to say.
Could I stay up like for an extra half hour and still get my long rest, or no?
You're already at your 2 hours.
Okay, that was just
Like
wondering.
that's stretching it a bit. Like that's reducing the duration by or the amount of time you have by an extra 25%. So
Just wanted to make sure.
yep.
All right. Well then, if you just want to ignore it, then ignore it. I won't take this tea because it seems to. I've taken Artemis tea before. It knocks people out. And I'll just go to sleep. And if something happens, wake my ass up, and we'll kill whatever the fuck is attached.
If something happens, I'm gonna wake everyone up. But for right now, I'll just keep an eye on them.
We may not be able to wake the others up. I've had Artemis tea before.
All right. All right.
So, yeah.
Shh. Whisper.
gonna lay down.
You lay down.
But we don't need to whisper. Everyone else
Everyone's
is knocked out.
It's
so much
rude.
inside
It's just
tea.
rude.
All right. I'm going to bed. Good night. Wake me
Alright.
up if something attacks us.
I will. And as soon as she kind of goes and she seems asleep, I'm going to try to do kind of a light interpretive dance in front of the dome, a dance of peace, a very gentle, flowy dance to see if it gets any reaction that ends with a bow for respect.
Interesting. All right. Give me a performance check.
Not bad. Okay.
All right. You
Is
finish
it
the
a
dance.
moving dance?
Is it a what?
Is it a very moving dance?
He expresses so much with just his features.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's exactly what I was thinking. Was the Always Sunny dance?
Yeah.
of Mac, how he comes out as gay or whatever. Isn't that his
one?
dance when he's coming out as gay to his dad?
Yeah.
That's how he. Yeah, that's how he tells his dad. Yeah. Such a good show. Anyways, you finish it though, and at the very end, although you're kind of almost expecting no response, trying to be as quiet as you can, you accidentally slap Avar in the face as you're flinging around. As part of the gestures. He kind of gives an angry kind of wave at you and kind of rolls back, turning away from you. But at the very end, you finish the bow and look back up, and still staring into these kind of just nearly all black armor, essentially, with these coal eyes, these embers. It kind of gives a slight head bow and bows down to the waist, which is how do I put this? You wouldn't have any way to know this specific. It's clear that this is a like their version of a bow, right? So the way that any culture might have a different version of shaking hands or whatever cultural sign of respect was, but it seems that he recognized what yours was and then did his version essentially back, is the impression that you got.
Well,
Fox, I sent you a message.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to kind of
Foundry.
take that as a good sign, and then I'm going to take a seat and look around and keep an eye out on the sun on the horizon from where the dragon apparently flew off to, and keep my eyes out for it.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to just kind of not close my eyes because I'm scared of falling asleep. I'm just going to speak in my own mind to see if I can call out to the whatever being gave me this power. I gotta open my notes back up because everything keeps crashing. So I'll bring that up. Speak slowly. I'm going to reach out to not Santos.
Santos?
Yeah.
Did
Actually,
he notice her?
I know it was Corvalane's Corvalane magic, but the guy that we think gave me these powers it's not Corvalane, the person, right?
No.
Yeah, it's not Carcosa. That's the place.
Yeah.
Have we figured out the name of the person?
Well, I assume you're referring to the King in Yellow.
King in Yellow, but does he have a name? Yeah,
Not that you're aware of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to ask. Actually, I'm not. I'm probably just going to ask in my mind. Whatever creature and whoever gave me these powers, can you hear me right now?
Give me a religion check with disadvantage.
Okay. Probably can't hear me over the wind. I think that's how. I think it's how it works.
Yeah, that sounds right. You get no response.
All right. In that case, I'm simply going to keep my eye out on the area where the dragon flew off to, and that's all I'm going to do. Try to stay awake.
All right. You looking in the distance there. Arteme is still sitting there, eyes closed, kind of meditative pose as you've seen her do. The weird way that the elves relax or recuperate. But although she is not responding at all, you notice that her eyes are flickering around behind her eyelids, eyes closed, but you can see the cornea moving. You know what I mean? Like REM sleep. You know what REM sleep looks like. Yeah. So kind of like that. But anyways, so she seems to be at least more conscious than she typically is during her trances. But you kind of immediately are able to picture out why, because you looking out over the dome, you can't quite see the ground, but you see that form that's out there, the one that bowed back to you. Kind of the helmet turn and rotate slightly down towards the ground and to the left, and then just as you see Sai, essentially. You see, this little white fox kind of walking across the snow, walking towards this floating apparition that you can just barely now see over this kind of 4-foot window that I described. And the apparition kind of looks down at it and doesn't seem to respond at all, just kind of stares at Sai for a minute, and then turns and looks back up to the dome.
I have to refresh I lost my map, and I want to take a look at it. Is it... And Sai is just outside walking around?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing seems like it's trying to eat her or do anything like that?
No.
She'll probably try and get pets and then come back in and crawl up to sleep.
Yeah.
All right. I'm
going to be honest. I'm not going to do anything crazy to save Sai. I've already seen Sai, get brought back to life. Like, it's not like an insane thing to me to let it see what happens.
She did. Yeah, Sai did actually get dead at one point. And she was not a familiar before.
Yeah.
Arteme kind of turned her into one, but that was before Pogo was around.
I'm going to just watch what happens, but I mean, it doesn't seem at this point that anything. I'm still very exhausted.
I'll tell you that it is kind of an interesting thing to watch for a moment as Sai walks up kind of beneath its feet, because this creature is kind of floating off of the ground in this kind of semi-spectral form, about a foot or so, and you see Sai kind of lifting up on her back legs and trying to paw at the feet, and kind of touches the feet, and the helm, the spectral apparition looks down at Sai, trying to clearly paw at it, and then just looks back up and seems to be ignoring her. But that's it.
Sure. No, I'm not going to wake everyone up. I want to sleep. I want to get. I'm not a fan of this area, and we'll deal with it in the morning.
Okay.
I've already had the rest of my sleep that I need, I think. So I'm just going to stay up and awake until whatever qualifies as a sunshine starts in the morning.
Okay. Well, because you guys went to sleep a little bit early, the dome won't last that long, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you that you, near the end of your rest, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you that in factoring in that this is probably around the 8-hour mark, let's say, as you're kind of still looking around and kind of looking over every 30 seconds just to make sure that he hasn't moved at all. He's still just floating there. Nothing's happened, and he, for this whole duration until the end of this 2 hours here, he is slowly floating his way over to the dome.
All right. Well, I guess I've got to wake everyone up anyways, right? Because we got to get out of here before the bubble only lasts 8 hours.
Bubble, I think, can be 10 at the most.
Oh, okay.
But you see him entering into the kind of radius of thin light that this thing emits. Not much, but just enough, to kind of get a clearer view of the features. Just as he is lifting a hand out, a fingertip, and touching the edge of the dome, and the dome disappears.
Oh, neat.
Along with the tree, and all of you, yes, literally the very end of the long rest, literally at the 8 hours, you all collapse falling down into the snow, and everybody needs to give me initiative.
All right.
But we got our long rest.
Yep, everybody go ahead and apply your long rest.
Okay.
Thank God.
I was gonna say, as long as we're not fighting for 2 hours, too, it would be okay.
As soon as
No.
Sarah hits the ground,
I'm going to go ahead and tell it to you that it seemed very clear that he was waiting for all of you to sleep.
Okay.
And Arteme has an idea of why anybody would... actually, Sarah, you probably would too. Give me a history check with advantage, Sarah.
Oh, there's probably some cultures like, we must fight with honor. On equal footing, you well-rested, me a ghost.
really?
Me, a ghost.
I rolled 2 7s. That is fucking terrible.
Well, I'm at level
hang on.
2 exhaustion
It's letting you
now,
guys roll,
so-
but I'm not seeing you guys show up. Do I need
wait.
to...
I don't have a minus D8 anymore.
Remember, when you change exhaustion, don't delete it. Just hit
Yeah,
the
hit the-
X
Oh,
to
wait, I forgot
disable
to
it.
change it.
Yeah, you can re-roll. If you already rolled, go ahead and re-roll. After you fix your exhaustion level. Everyone would be down by 1, meaning you'll all still be at 2, except for Fox, you'll be at 1. Sarah, did you roll that history check?
I did. I need to re-roll because I already rolled it. And it took
I'll
off
get
the
there.
Oh,
I'm good
okay.
there.
history.
We're gonna have to dig up some of these graves and get some diamonds.
As soon as I see the dude and the dome is down, I just look at Pogo. I'm like, I told you to fucking wake me up if he does anything.
You just touched
have
the
super
fucking
long.
thing.
Yeah, so what he casted, by the way, was Dispel Magic. So
Yeah.
the same thing that Sarah had casted at the door to unlock the chains, the arcane chains that you guys couldn't see. That's he just Dispel Magic your orb. Like, it's not invulnerable to that. So you guys should probably keep that in mind. Just because I've never used it against you before, doesn't mean that it's permanently
I will
vulnerable.
be honest. I totally forgot that it could be dispelled.
Dispelled, yep.
Yep, totally forgot about that.
I didn't think about that either.
Go ahead.
By the way, do we take a little bit of damage from falling down the tree?
No, it's not enough of a fall. It wasn't 10 feet.
Okay.
You guys are up probably 6 feet. I'll say that there's enough of a shout and a surprise, in time for everybody to kind of right themselves, so they don't, break anything on the fall. And plus, you guys are, pretty veteran adventurers at this point. I see Norak, Pogo, and Nazim. I don't see Sarah and Arteme yet in combat tracker. And if you want to bring your pets, you're welcome to too.
I don't think I don't remember. I left him on the south of where the dragon was.
Weren't you trying to use him for bait or something?
I
What
was
were you doing?
trying to use him. I basically told him that if the dragon wakes up to try to cause a distraction so that we could sneak past, but I don't remember how it ended. So I don't know if he's even
I'll say
here,
that he
if
would have had
cut
time
flew
to
away.
catch up if you wanted him to anyways. That he could have. I mean, you guys were here for 8 hours, so.
Sure. Yeah, then he'll be here somewhere. I'll say he's still flying around. I don't think
Okay.
he needed to come down.
Okay.
Damn you, computers! Stop with the OpenGL fucking failure.
Doesn't Noctua go on my turn? It's Shan
Yes.
that rolls for a new initiative.
Yes. Yeah, Shannon has a special rule. Well, she is specifically set to roll her own, so because you summon her separately too. She's not a perpetual creature. Let me
Right,
go
then.
get these guys in here.
I would just call Noctua back from wherever the hell she is doing her rounds.
Okay. Why can't I not set? It's fine. We'll just. Oh, wait, hang on. I can do it this way. There we go. All right. So everybody's in. You kind of very rapid surprise. Arteme, you have an idea as to why this occurred at this point, even though, like I said, you were already aware that he was here and the kind of culture that he comes from. What Pogo said aloud about it being an honorable culture and only fighting on certain terms lines up with what you've read in history books about Mephuans. So anyways, it is Sarah's turn. This creature looks to be probably the remnants of whatever battalion or whatever group was garrisoned here when the Yogg killed them. They look very similar to the skeletons you've seen around.
Okay, and I don't see anything else around. It's just the one.
At the moment, yes.
Right.
You don't see anything else. It is still very dark, by the way. Oh, in fact, actually, shit, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
you guys
I
don't have
dark
the light
vision.
from... Yeah, you guys don't have the light from the orb, so it was... so you guys were able to see it when the dome was still there. Now that it's gone, only those of you that can see in the dark can see anything.
Okay, well, as soon as I landed, I'd use my light cantrip.
I don't know. We just landed.
It would, especially because you still would have been in trance, Fox. I'm going to say that you'll have to do that. Somebody will need to do it on their turn,
Okay.
only because you were still tranced. Like you'd already had a long night and exhausted as you already were, as everybody was. That you wouldn't have had.
Fair
Let's
enough.
see if this guy's
Yeah.
honorable enough to let us get our footing and cast light first.
Let's see. You want to ask him?
It reminds me of like, would you like to catch your breath? Well, thank you. Seems I'm just gonna kill you anyways. Like,
All right. What you doing, Becky?
Hang on a second. That changed my plans because both the things I want to do are both concentration.
Oh.
God.
Well, you can see at least. You thankfully, since you get to go, remember
I
nobody.
know.
You know that nobody else will be able to see, and you can. So do whatever you want to do, but remember that everybody else's turns are going to be impacted.
really have no one else with dark vision? I feel like my group, every single fucking person can now see in the dark.
That's why. That right there. No kidding. That right there is why I don't allow dark vision for as a racial bonus.
Ah,
If you pick it as a class feature, that's one thing, and specifically that's why I did it for Rob, because it is so necessary for my character. But yeah, I don't give it out as a racial feature. Nazim has it because of his Ceramorphosis, because of his subclass that he picked, and Sarah has it because she's a Shadow Sorcerer, so also has See in the Dark because of a class feature. Basically, it's a pretty significant choice, not just a random thing everybody gets.
And I'm casting Shan right behind him.
Okay.
So
Dancing Lights, that's concentration. Yeah, okay. All right.
No.
right.
Which is why I won't do all the rest of
You're
it.
fine. Just making sure. Just wanted to make sure you knew that, because you said 2, and I wanted to make sure that one of them was concentrate or was
Yeah, no, I was
Dancing
gonna
Lights.
do Shadow Knife because it's still dark out,
Uh-huh.
because that is also a bonus action. Other
Yeah,
than
yeah.
Misty Step, that's all I have. But Shan is also a bonus action, so.
So you can move them. The torches add-on doesn't work very well anymore, so I disabled it. But each one
I'm just
is
going
torch size.
Yeah, so
Each
they're
did
just-
light and 10-foot radius. Okay, so where do you want them?
Yeah, they're just orbs of kind of. So for Sarah, they probably have like a black tint to them, I would assume.
Okay. Black lights. So you're gonna see all the jizz that's been all over this place.
Don't look at me, guys. Where's everyone looking at me? And I'm just covered in fucking.
I just meant black tinge because of her necrotic magic, but I
know
mean
what,
that
I'm
works
just
too.
kidding. Yeah, it looks like a rave then. I dropped them like that. Is that
Yeah.
an okay arrangement? Okay, if you want to move them,
That's-
let me know.
Yeah, I just want everyone to have a decent view around us and be able
Okay.
to at least see him
Okay.
decently. So. Yeah,
And you summon
that works.
Shan as well.
Yeah, she is directly behind him,
All right.
and I rolled a 15. I don't know what her plus is for her initiative. Hang on.
You should be able to see her stats. So you have ownership of her. You should be able to find her.
Doesn't say initiative.
Well, it's your dex, so it's +2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so she's got a 17
All right.
for her initiative, and that is yeah. I'm just gonna stay behind everyone else because everyone's in front of me. I'll just stay here.
What did I do? I must have changed that add-on. Let's see. You said it was 17, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let me. That'll be after Nazim and before. Wait. No. I was looking at hit points. That's why.
Yeah, I just rolled a d20 15, and then her dex is plus 2.
Yeah, that's fine. I just I was clicking on hit points instead of initiative. So she would be down. There we go. 17. I had to figure out how to use this add-on. I haven't used it for a while. Okay. All right. She's in there. So that is it for your turn. Are you moving?
Nope. Everybody's in front of me, so I'm just gonna stay where I
Dude,
am.
right
Okay.
next to
You're
me.
not in the broom either, so you did fall. So you
Oh.
no movement, not broom.
Shit. Yeah, no, I will sit on the broom. At
Okay.
least.
All right.
But
You
I'm
jump on
only
the
gonna
broom.
Be like 5 feet up. So.
Okay. All right. Norok's turn. So you've fallen. Shulk is right beside you. Kind of smack your head on the ground a little bit. Not enough to actually injure you, but enough to wake you up for sure. And yeah, exactly. Flip around and see this floating apparition behind you. Looks like a human knight.
Smashy time.
Okay.
Well, first I'm gonna rage, of course.
Okay. I would like to rage.
I would prefer to rage now, if you do not mind.
You gotta like roar it out.
Have you been watching Campaign 3 at all yet, Becky?
Yes, I am completely caught up.
I watched
was-
the first episode, like 3/4 of the first episode. That's all I've seen so far. It's been nonstop
Oh.
work.
Then
Yeah.
I'm not going to.
Yeah, don't spoil anything. I'm not. I don't know. So at least at that point, there basically was only like 3 or 4 new characters because I didn't watch the Exandria Unlimited, but Ashley's wasn't new. You know, basically a bunch of them weren't new.
Yeah,
so,
Robbie's, Liam's, and Ashley's were from Exandria Unlimited.
Yeah. Okay. Robbie seemed fine. Like the kind of half an hour or something that I watched of. Yeah. He was pretty cool.
Well.
Yeah.
I like the Exandria Unlimited. I watched all that too.
Aubrey was an interesting DM. I actually liked her style quite a bit. Abria? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I knew. Well, I knew it was Ia at the end, but I thought it was Abria. But yeah. Anyway, so she was a little loose with the rules, like bending them specifically just for fun, which is cool. But I like consistency too. So, you know. But as far as DMs go, she was still fun to watch.
It was a nice change up, and she had some interesting ideas for stuff like there's a point where they flip a crocodile, which is pretty funny.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, G.
Apparently, it's a real thing that you can do in real life. If you flip a croc, it becomes
to put him to sleep?
docile.
Yeah, like sharks do that too. Yeah.
So that's what they did.
All right. I would definitely roll in the positive or something like that. Shit, and you rolled really well on the negative too, G. But an 8 will still not do it. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know.
Well, hang on. You were recklessing though. So did you? Was that advantage?
Yeah,
It was advantage. Shit. Yeah, even with that.
Well, that was their weapon master too, so that would have had the. That would have been 3. Huh?
Hang on. I see 2 -5s on there. Hang on.
Did I hit that by accident?
Well, the Great Weapon Master took the -5 twice, which would have made it a 13, which would still not hit.
Okay.
So I'll make sure that to check your other ones too, to make sure that's fixed. But anyways, in the meantime, though, you kind of falling to the floor, smacking your head slightly, already starting to draw the Sword of Stolen Hours off of your back as you stand up, and getting ready to swing at this. Just assuming that something must be bad, looking around, and your kind of frenzied motion of preparing, always being ready for a fight. You swing in its direction, and he just easily clinks it away with his sword. His sword's growing this kind of light blue, and with almost no effort, it just knocks your sword away.
Okay.
Make your second swing.
Yeah, and this one obviously will just be normal.
Okay. Uh, 13, still not hit. Hang on, 18, just barely hits. Because you have the -5 on there twice, so we roll one of those, bring it up to an 18. Yeah.
Okay.
So an 18 just barely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage. Okay. You bring the blade down. The first time he just kind of clinks it away, revealing just this kind of slight space beneath the gauntlet and where his armor is, just above the middle of his forearm. And you bring the sword back down, and it clinks off of that and just barely bites into what you would expect to be his flesh. Knowing this creature is clearly undead in some sort or another, you don't see any blood spray, but it does seem to have. You feel like it did bite enough to have hurt him.
Okay. Cool. That is it, because I already raged, so that's my notes.
Okay. All right. You did reckless too, so he'll have advantage against you, right?
Yep.
All right. All right. No movement or anything. Gonna stay there.
Yeah, actually, I'm just gonna stay where I'm at for now.
All right. That brings us to Pogo.
I'm gonna go ahead and look at Avar. You guys tried to hide and sugar cookies. And then I'm going to, which I think was the safe word. Was it not sugar cookies? Was sugar cookies the safe word?
I think so.
For him to attack stuff?
Familiar?
Oh, you mean when he was holding the bow?
When he was holding the bow?
Fire.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was sugar
I
cookies.
thought it was something cinnamony. Wasn't it cinnamon or something like that? Maybe not.
Oh shit! I don't.
Cinnamon or sugar cookies? I don't know really.
Okay. I heard
have the
Becky
notes?
flipping pages. I literally heard Becky flipping pages. Did you write down his
What is
word?
Avar's safe word?
Oh shit!
You have no idea. My notes are like a literal story of what we do.
Yeah, I like it. So anyways, I'm gonna
not do that now. So
I'm gonna yell whatever my safe word to him was to allow him to unleash the bow, and then I'm gonna tell him to hide and do that, and then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cast greater invisibility on myself as my action before I move, and then I'm going to Elvish Foot 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Oh, I can almost get there.
Where are you trying to get?
I was trying to get up behind.
Nah,
it wouldn't have mattered, but it's okay. I'll just kind of stand here for now. I was going to try to get behind whatever this is, but that's okay.
It's just
there's
a
still.
lantern, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's still because it's taller than you. It wouldn't be good for human stature.
In that case,
but
what I might do instead is I might just go over here and kind of get low on the stairs, just so I can kind of see what's happening up
you'll
there.
have to be
That way
kind of
I
laying
like,
almost
some
in
stuff.
the snow, but yeah, you can do that.
Oh, dang it. It crashed again. That's okay. I'm going to have to get this fixed before next week. And then I am going to, as a bonus action, 18 to hit, so he's clearly very hard to hit. I don't know if Spiritual Banjo's got the for it. Come on, buddy.
Jan will be up next, Becky.
How did I never notice that?
Sorry, I gotta bring up gotta reload.
No problem. How many notebooks have you filled up, Becky, in the 3 years?
Surprisingly, I'm getting towards the end of my first because I write super small.
Oh, that's still a lot of notes, though. Is it the one that I sent? That
small,
one with the D&D logo on it? That one?
Oh, yes. Actually, that one is for this campaign, and then I have like 2 or 3 others for the other campaigns. So
nice.
I'm gonna have to buy a new one for this campaign soon.
So
Definitely gonna run out of room.
I think what I will do is I will cast as a bonus. Oh no, it's concentration. Never mind. I will not take a bonus action. I'll simply go invisible and I'll hang out by the stairs. And that is my turn.
All right. That brings us to Shay, and then.
Right. So I don't know why I never realized this before, but Shan has pack tactics. So.
Are we as pack though?
Yeah.
She is going to fight with advantage.
All right.
Because
that'd be most of the time, because usually, very often she's doing that when Norok is on the other side or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming a 24 hits.
Yep.
Right. So damage, and then do I hit the saving throw thing?
He would, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you that she reaches out and grabs into his leg and bites through, and it still seems like it hurt him, but she pulls her teeth away and didn't catch anything.
I didn't think so.
Yeah,
all right.
He's immune to being prone, so.
That is her turn.
Okay. 10. All right. That brings us to Shok. Shok is, riding himself just as Norok did, right beside him, kind of spinning around to avoid stumbling over anybody, rushing around with his axe towards the Death Knight here as well. He is going to swing his great axe at him. 22, and then spins further around. That one still hits, of course, but spins further around before his second attack. Trying to surround the creature here for 8. And great X. Alright, 21 will also hit. His AC is 18, and still all these rolls are hitting decently and rolling good on damage, too. Alright, that is it for his turn. That brings us to this undead knight, this floating apparition in front of all of you. Let's see.
When's my turn?
You're after him. You're right. Yep. He is going to... He points at... you know what? Actually, he spins around facing Shok after Shok had just hit him. He points at Shok, and you see him murmuring something. I would say that probably none of you can recognize the language he's speaking. But
Do I recognize he's casting a spell?
It's not a spell, anyways. It's not. It's like a. He's not. Okay. It's not an incantation. It's not a spell. He's challenging him, is what it is. It's a not a class effect, like a monster ability, not a spell. But right after that, let's see. That is. Hang on. That one is a bonus action, so he can't do that. Hang on. I gotta make a save from Shok here. Shok saves. All right. Then in that case, he is going to spin around and facing in all of your direction there. You see him take his sword out, kind of lifting his sword up and then spinning it around, facing downwards, and he slams it into the ground. And as soon as he does, a blast, an explosion wave, sends out from him. Shit, I can't find the ability. Hang on. God damn it. I had that one in here. Son of a bitch. Damn it, I really wanted to use that one. I did a thing earlier when I was putting this guy in here, and I accidentally deleted him and had to remake him. And when I remade him, I apparently forgot to put this other ability in. So, because that wouldn't be fair to do then... shit. Sorry, guys. Pardon the rust here, like I said. Instead, then, he is going to hold his sword out in your guys' direction, which will be, let's see, Nazim, Avar, and Sarah, and Norok.
What are we doing?
He holds his sword, like, pointing towards Norok, towards all of you. It's a 60-foot cone. So Nazim, Norok, Avar, and Sarah need to make a DC 18
That was a
dex
cool
save.
effect, by the way. The little...
Yeah, so I put a bunch of those in here specifically for him, which is why I'm annoyed by the other one too, because the other one looked really cool.
I did not do well.
Wait. Nazim, you're within 25 feet of me. You can re-roll that one if it was
I
a
will
1.
use the chronal shift for myself.
Okay.
Yeah, you're within 30 feet of me, so you gotta re-roll. Just knowing that I'm there just fills you with confidence.
Okay, do I just re-roll the whole dexterity thing, or what do I re-roll?
Yeah, if you just have
just
yourself
dexterity.
highlighted, Sako, and then click that dex save from the chat, that'll work.
What was it? 16?
18. No, it's an 18.
No, an 18.
Do the dex
Yeah.
save.
Jesus.
Sako, if you can actually click the one in the chat box too. So if you see Death Wave, if you scroll up to where the Death Knight casted Death Wave, you'll see where it's a saving throw DC 18. As long as you have yourself
there it
highlighted
is.
and click that, it'll do it that way too.
Oh. If you
So-
A little better.
What's that?
if you match it, you save, right?
Yeah, it goes to the runner. So yes.
Fucking D6. God damn
The
it.
D6 is what screwed you?
Yes.
So Avar is the only one that succeeded. Ben, you didn't roll yours yet.
I was going to say, I have advantage, I think. Don't I? Or could I see this coming? So then I think I have advantage for one of
Yeah,
those.
you can see it coming for sure. He's holding the sword pointing like straight at your chest. So yeah, you definitely can see it coming.
And then if not, I got my ring anyway.
Okay.
So,
Arteme, you were just barely outside of it, Arteme, so you didn't need to worry about it, thankfully.
Oh, okay.
Like you're literally the line was right between you and Nazim. I don't know if you guys saw the cone, but like I
I
put
kind
a
of
spell
saw
effect
it,
in.
but not much.
Yeah. It was kind of hidden by the green aura that's surrounding him now too. Okay, well shit. I forgot to have you guys. I didn't tell you about this other thing that he has going to, that aura that's surrounding him. So I'm not going to make you guys re-roll or anything. So we'll keep
Wisdom
these rolls.
save.
But that means Arteme, you didn't need to worry about it. So Norok, are you going to use your ring to succeed anyways?
Yeah, because I'm assuming 11 didn't take it.
Correct. It was an 18. So
yeah.
that means that Avar succeeds and Norok succeeds, but Sarah and Nazim failed the check, and it is 66 cold damage and 66 necrotic damage. It
Wait,
wasn't
100,
like no crit or
100
anything.
and
No, not 6. No, not 6. 6d6.
Oh yeah, I thought you
of
meant. I
each.
thought you were about to just be like, yeah, that's 124 damage.
Yeah, that's a flat out TPK for
Yeah.
everybody.
That's fun.
35 total.
Yes,
So-
I thought you literally said 66 necrotic and
Yeah, that's what I thought you
66.
said, too.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. I am so glad I'm invisible right
Come
now.
on, I'm not that unfair to you guys.
Maybe
I
you
at
got
least give you
bored with this
chances.
world you invented.
oh my god, that hit hard.
35 is not that bad.
Dude, that is almost half of Sarah's hit points.
Well, all right, but you guys need to kill him.
Sarah is small and squishy.
Yeah, that's fair. It was just dumb luck that you guys were within that cone. The other one that he had was a big AoE, would have hit all of you, including Shan. It was a point blank area of effect, the one that I didn't get re-imported properly. Anyways, though, so 35, except that's half to, I believe it's half on a save. Let me check, Jake. Yes, so half as much on a success. So Ben and Avar, which remember, Avar doesn't have a lot of hit points, so keep that in mind. Take 17, rounded up to 18, so it's 18 damage for Ben and Avar. As well as, and this is the part that is going to be risky for you guys, is anybody that failed the save cannot be healed until the end of your next turn.
Oh,
Can't regain hit points until the end of its next turn. So that was. Let's see. He did the To the Death, which is his bonus action, and Death Wave, which was his action.
If we think about it, at least he's nice enough to tell us that.
Oh, that you can't regain hit points?
We didn't have to learn by trying to regain.
You know, I'll tell you that those that failed it feel sickly, and, you know, like you are going to take a minute, like you feel too sick to be able to heal wounds at the moment. That is it for his turn. That brings us to Nazim.
Okay, just real quick, whoever has that light that is using up their concentration, would you like me to put something more permanent so you could free up that concentration, or you just want me to hammer down on Swole?
Absolutely, that would be fantastic.
I'll tell you guys, you guys have done an okay amount of damage to him. Actually, I didn't put the Shan one in. I just did that. You've done an okay amount of damage, but he is not even close to bloodied yet. It's going to take. He can hurt.
Yeah,
he can hurt fast. So keep that in mind.
Okay, so you want me to do relieve you of that concentration magic?
Yeah, because I can give Norak a whole nother action if
Beautiful.
we do that.
All right. So Nazim will take a few steps to the left, right next to this guy.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
And then I will just very poignantly stare in his eyes and use my light cantrip and slap him square in the face.
With the cantrip?
Yes, sir. Which
right.
will then make his face a glowing light of 20 feet radius.
That's awesome.
And that means that no matter where he goes, as long as he has his face, he will be illuminated for all of us to see.
All right. Well, I mean, Ben's probably trying to take care of that whole face thing, so that he won't have one very soon. But 20 feet?
Yep.
20-foot radius, right?
20-foot radius from his face.
Okay.
So he will always be seen.
It'll make him real easy to pick out in the snow, then. There you go. Okay. That was action for light, right?
Correct.
Any bonus actions? Or more movement?
No bonus actions, but I am going to kind of hunker down and prepare for a counterspell in the event that he tries to get funny.
Okay. All right, that brings us to Arteme.
Okay, I am going to use Flame Wall around him and make it like a circle.
Everybody's kind of surrounding him. Hang on, to hit Flame Wall, can you make it only a 5 foot? You're trying to do just around him, but not cover everybody else, I assume?
Yeah.
Isn't Flame Wall one-sided?
Sorry, Wall of Fire.
One side does damage and the other doesn't.
Up to 60 feet, 20 feet high.
Or I can make it a circle.
Yeah, you can do it in a circle. My concern is what's the minimum, because it would have to be like a 5 foot circle.
Well, it says one side of the wall selected by you when you cast the spell deals 5d8 fire damage.
Yeah, but my concern is that being able to make it literally only a 5 foot circle, you know, a 2.5 foot radius is what I'm saying. Let me see. That might
It's a 1 foot thick. It can be 20 feet high and 20 feet.
It seems reasonable. Yeah. Making wall of fire only 5 foot.
Up to, right?
Yeah, it says up to, so I think you probably could. Like, it seems pretty reasonable to me. It's not shapeable. You make a line of fire or a ring, which the ring would still be fine. Yeah, I would say you could. Sure.
Okay.
All right. I don't have an easy... drop when you click that, did it give you the option for placing measured template?
Nope.
Okay. Then in that case, we'll just say that it's you're putting it around him, right? And you're just trying to burn it, you know, inwards toward him, I assume, not to burn, you know, Nazim and Choke and Norak and Shan. Okay. All right. When the wall appears, each creature within the areas must make a dex save. On a failed save, creature takes 5d8 or half as much on a success. So let's do that. Oh, sorry, he has advantage actually. So that would have failed, but he has advantage on any spell effects. 12 still fails. All right, so 5d8. Go ahead and roll your damage. I think he hit. Let me check. Yeah, magic resistance. This one here. All right. right, 16 to him. He rolled pretty crappy on that. That could have been a lot of damage. But 16 is still good because, not quite bloodied, but he's maybe, he's getting there. So doing some damage to him. Any bonus actions, Fox?
No.
All right. Then that brings us to Avar. Avar he has 7 hit points left. He is terrified after being hit by that blast of cold and necrotic energy, is running up behind this pillar over here and trying to kind of place himself behind this, this last, barely holding on pillar that is holding the last bit of this roof up, and is going to try to fire an arrow in that direction, trying to look for a shot, but he can't find one with Norok in the way to be able to shoot him. So he just looks scared running past Sarah on the broom there, and bow ready like he's trying to look for a shot but can't find one. That's it for his turn. Bring it to Sarah.
Oh, my turn?
Yep.
Right. So.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. End of the round there. I forgot something. Sorry. You see him still holding the sword, kind of holds his arms out at his sides and lifts his arms up in the air. And there is the sound of rattling bones.
MCA. Sorry.
Huh?
Nothing. I was listening very intently to you, and he lifts his arms up in the air from his sides. YMCA.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard D. Okay. This won't make any sense probably, but I thought I heard DMCA, which is the legal takedown for like trademarked and copyrighted materials. And I was literally describing the raised dead motion of the guy from Game of Thrones, the White Walker guy. So I thought you were saying DMCA.
Yeah. Dude, I like when they do that. And then have you seen the Michael Jackson version of that? It's pretty good. Anyways,
I don't remember.
It's just basically never mind. Don't worry about it.
But you guys hear kind of bones cracking and rattling, and the kind of shaking of snow off of these as these skeletons, these bodies that you had seen around that were left here long ago by the Yogg that just left the bodies to rot, kind of standing up and kind of shaking off the snow, just lifting themselves up. There are quite a few in the nearby radius here that were just essentially ignored, bodies that were in the snow. He was here. As 4 of them stand up and kind of begin to join the fray here. Now it's your turn, Becky.
All right. Shit. I'm down half hit points, but since Nazim has put on some light, I'm going to drop dancing lights and cast haste.
Okay.
On Norok. And then I am going to 10, 15. Wait, I'm going to shove my very last healing potion into fucking Avar.
It takes your action to do that, right?
I thought it was a bonus action to give it
No,
to
it's a bonus
somebody
action to drink for yourself. It's an action to feed it to somebody else.
else. Fuck. Shit, then I can't fucking heal him.
I don't think he can heal anyways, right? He got hit by the thing.
Yeah, he can't.
He
regain
can't be
hit
healed.
points.
Remember? We had the whole talk. Sorry, that was rude.
That was funny. It was a very asshole thing to say, but it was funny.
No.
The whole talk we had, remember?
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. I forgot Avar was in that circle. All right. I don't think I have anything for a bonus action because I know I can't heal myself. Yeah. Then I guess I'll just stay up here by Avar and just kind of like try to position myself in front of him as best I can.
He's kind of cowering behind that pillar, just holding the bow drawn, like just his fist, his left fist is touching the side of the pillar as he's trying to hide behind it. So
I'll leave enough room between me and the pillar for his arrow to go through, but I'm kind of like trying to block his body.
Okay. All right.
Next to him.
All right. That it for your turn?
Yep, that is it.
All right. That brings us to Norok.
And you are hasted, so what is that? That's a plus to AC, right?
Oh, yeah.
And an extra action?
Plus 2 bonus to AC, advantage on deck saves, gains an additional action, not just to attack, but additional action on each of its turns. Yeah. And it can only be used to take attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object.
I will use reckless attacking Great Weapon Master again on this first one. Should I
Okay.
hit him or does it matter? Should I hit the buttons on this or does it matter?
No, sorry. I thought you were asking if you should try to attack him or not. Like you were asking the group.
probably
well, I mean, that's kind of what Norak usually does.
Yeah, I
but
don't know what else I can do. I can stand there.
you picked this time to do your taxes?
Yeah.
I don't think it for reckless attack it won't matter. Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't attack you last time, so the advantage didn't matter. But
Yeah.
just remember, that if he does,
Okay. Then actually, I'll hit the Great Weapon Master because then it'll automatically. Will it take it off automatically if I do that?
go ahead and hit the Great Weapon. So you're intentionally going to use Great Weapon Master this time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and click the button so that it'll take
Fine.
off the extra.
Okay.
Because right now there's two of them. I have to replace the macro for you.
All right.
Remember what I said about how our first game back when we've had a couple of weeks off, there's always a lot of just futzing around and having fun and doing social stuff. this fight I thought would happen like 15 minutes in maybe, and that we'd be done with it. But we're half an hour left, and he's still got a lot of health.
Yeah.
And there's skellies on the way now. 12 will not hit. Hang on, that would be that would be still wouldn't. Yeah, that'd be a 17.
Oop, I don't need it. No. Try again. Obviously, just a regular. Not bad choice.
But yeah, Great Weapon Master.
I can't use it again.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, a
No,
-1.
no.
It actually would have been a 5, but still no.
All right. Well, good thing I got haste, so I'll try again.
Okay.
And that's a full action, so it's 2 more, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And if you were to hit twice, you would end up getting another attack from your sword too,
Yeah.
if you wanted to use it. 3 will not do. I mean, that's really 8, but still. And a natural 1.
A 1 and a
Wait,
1.
wait. You are 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, you're not within 30 feet of me.
Wait,
You
where
know,
are you from me? What's my thing? God damn it, it's 30.
just barely. It's 35 feet.
Ah. Shit.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
Norak
literally-
doing his best, just
If you were
wailing
5
away.
feet closer.
I know.
Just swinging and swinging and swinging as he's like hands go passing in and out of this wall of flame that Arteme had summoned surrounding him. Just trying to cut through this and just keeps cutting through fire but not hitting anything behind it. 4 swings and none of them hit. I don't think we've ever had that kind of luck for Norak.
Never.
Maybe Fox really did pass her curse on.
Wow, I'm not rolling any better either.
Your fire hit. That still did something. He failed.
Yes, the fire hit, but it's
Better
rare.
than
I
one.
rarely get hidden, and
All right, Pogo's turn. Sorry, Ben, were you doing anything else? You still have your bonus technically.
Not this time. No.
Yeah, no. I did.
Wait,
Okay.
did you rage?
On my last one.
Yeah, he did. He raged before he started. Yeah. All right, then Pogo's turn.
Okay. Do I think in my use of my spell Shatter that it would affect bones in a more harsh way than like living material, or do you think it would just be the same? Would Pogo think it would be the same?
You know what? I'm going to tell it to you this way. I would say that organic material in just, like, let's say recent bones or something dead somewhat recently would be a no. These have been
Like
dead for
old-
about 450 years and therefore
Sure.
are petrified, and therefore I'll say yes, it will.
Okay. So Pogo is going to cast what's the size of this? Is going to cast Shatter at the 2 Scullies that are up to the west of him,
Okay.
just right in between
Guys
it.
up here. Yep. Okay.
And the loud cacophonous sound rings out, and they do saving throws for concentration or
Which they
for
have disadvantage on,
constitution.
right?
With,
Isn't it for inorganic material? Or, well, it's supposed to be like rocks, which I'm going to say since they're petrified.
Yeah, disadvantage on the saving throw.
There we go. Yeah, or metal. Yeah, cool. All right, so disadvantage for the both of them.
Oh, terrible rolls.
One got a 5,
One-
so
yeah.
failed, and one got a 22 and succeeded. Even with
Okay.
disadvantage, you got a 22.
Yeah, so
Rolled a 19 and 20.
9, and that is it. So 9 to
Okay.
the one that failed.
And they nothing on a success?
Uh,
It's half of
Just-
success, isn't it?
I don't even think so. Oh yeah, half as much damage on sex. So 5. Wow, that was a terrible roll. All right, well, and let me go ahead and
they don't have a lot of hit points. So
yeah.
As you're looking at these ancient warriors that have long since died and not really in particularly good shape, the weather hasn't treated them good for 450 years. You cast Shatter. There is a cacophonous explosion of ice and snow and bits of the stonework of the pillar next to it, and the lantern that was by it, the one that you were going to try to hide behind, is completely destroyed. But also destroyed are both of the skeletons. They both had 5 hit points.
I'm not going to say anything because I am still invisible because I did my my 4th level one, the greater invisibility. Okay. And I am then going to cast Spiritual Banjo directly next to him as my bonus action.
Next to the Death Knight?
Next to the Death Knight, so he's surrounded.
All right.
And so we're going to miss the see if we can attack him with the Spiritual Banjo. 18 is not going to happen there. Oh.
18 is exactly.
Oh, are you kidding me?
You rolled 2.
Hilarious.
2 1s.
You're welcome.
After the booming explosion of Shatter going off, Pogo begins summoning the banjo. You guys see this kind of purplish shape begin to appear out behind the knight there, and there is a terrifying screech from the south.
Oh no.
You've appeared to have drawn the attention of something else further to the south. You don't hear wing beats or anything else. It seems too far, but that screech seems to kind of just pierce through the sounds of the blizzard on its way up this way. That it for Pogo's turn? Justin, you got to step away. All right, Shan's turn.
Right, so Shan doesn't know anything other than attack.
Then bite.
So
she's a bad dog. All she knows is bite.
Let's bite with advantage. Cause
you know any other dogs, Sako? Know any dogs that know any other words? Like good and ball?
And ball, yeah.
And rape?
Pretty much.
You guys don't know Ham Banana, do you? Ben, did you ever show her? Did you ever show her Hand Banana?
Yeah,
all I know is ball.
It looks like
good.
a balloon animal.
Right.
Little
yes.
All I know is good and ball.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
You're gonna show her that episode. It's a good one.
Oh shit!
I'm gonna fill all my orifices with wacky glue.
Oh, I remember that. 21.
All right, 21 does hit though. Go ahead and roll the damage. That was probably quite a surprise if you didn't remember, if you didn't know that. The specific episode of a stupid cartoon. 13. He is almost a bloodied, guys. So you still got a ways.
Alright, well, she ain't moving, so.
Alright, that brings us back to Shok then. Shok spins around behind him, trying to do his best he can to cleave away at this without, accidentally hitting all of you as you're all kind of in this very near space surrounding him. Here's the thing. You guys attacking into the fire with the fire burning on the other side with weapons is one thing because the weapon is just into the fire and right back out again. Shan is having to put her face through the fire to bite. You understand? Right,
so would she take fire damage?
I wouldn't say that it's the full. I would say just a little bit probably. Roll like, let's see, it was like 5d8. Roll 1d8 and that's how much she'll take of, a little bit of burn damage as she's sticking her face into the inside of the fire ring to bite.
Me or Fox?
You. You know what? Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't matter either way. Fox, you want to roll a d8? Trying to kill Sarah's pets.
It's fine. She comes back. I've already used her as bait, so she's mad and she already forgave me. So.
Oh, and it's an 8 too.
Oh.
The charm actually roll well.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
That's when it's friendly fire. Shok though trying to cleave at him as best he can. Make his 2 attacks here.
Wait, she took damage before? Or did you already take it off?
I just took it off.
Oh.
Yeah, I just did it just now. Yeah, it's already done. I just did it. Both of those will hit. Jeez, everybody's rolling really well hitting this guy. 18 AC is generally pretty hard to hit. 15, geez, another 26 off of the Death Knight. I thought this guy was going to be a little harder. All right, it is his turn. He is seeing that he's surrounded and in a bad position. What was that? Somebody send me a message. Oh, no, okay. Sako said you said the thing again. No, you're fine. I just didn't see it was the same one. Or the same.
It was my bad.
Image. No problem. All right. I just was making sure it wasn't the audio issues you were having. Let's see. You see him begin to fade corporeality and jumps over in this direction. I'm going to put him right here. Let's see.
You know, opportunity attacks. He fades out.
Well, it's a very specific way that he does it. I'm going to go ahead and I'll click the ability here for you guys. It is Dark Passage. There you go. Oh, well. Did I put a spell effect on there? Maybe. It would have been that direction, actually. Let me see. I think you're muted, Becky.
You muted.
Sorry. Is that a spell or just a thing that it does?
It's another, just ability. He doesn't actually have any, like, spells.
Boo.
There is one of them that I will tell you that if he does it, I would consider a spell. In that you could counterspell it if you chose to, but that one isn't. Yeah, it's he basically goes incorporeal and then like Misty Step, but you actually still do get your opportunity attacks if you so choose to use them. But I'll tell you that he's incorporeal, so physical attacks won't hit him, which means you would need Warcaster. So I think Nazim is the only one with Warcaster, if I remember right.
Yeah, I do not have it yet.
Okay. You wouldn't have gotten an opportunity anyways. Yeah, you were too far away. But Norok, Shok, and Shan would be able to attack, but he's incorporeal, so it wouldn't matter. So you could use your reaction and waste it. But Nazim does have Warcaster, which means he can cast a spell as an opportunity attack. So Nazim, you can. He does have resistance against the damage, but you can still do it.
Okay. Let me take a quick look here.
He is just past bloodied now, by the way, from Shan's bites.
Gotcha.
Or from Shok's attack, rather.
Spell, I'm not going to use the cantrip or anything. I am going to enfeeble him to prep for everyone else's attack.
Okay.
So I'm going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement.
All right. Go ahead and click it. Need to see how it works.
Oh, it says I have no second level spells? I just had a long rest.
Did you not click the long rest before the thing?
Oh, I definitely did.
Go ahead and, put your, in that case then, go ahead and put it back to, whatever the max is, because I see, oh, you know what, I bet you probably had it selected and then used your scroll wheel or something. Oh, hang on. That's a Pact Magic spell. Yeah, you have 3, it shows 3 Pact Magic slots.
Yeah.
Go ahead and click it and just tell it don't consume a spell slot, and then mark your Pact Magic down to 2 out of 3. Because you still have all of your Pact spells right now.
There you go.
There you go. Okay. The DC is wrong on that too. So your DC is higher than that. Your DC is 4 plus your Charisma, which is another 4. So it'd be 16 total is your DC. So he fails. He got a 7 out of 16. So enfeeblement. Range spell attack, hit target only deals half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the spell ends. Okay. He hasn't used it yet, but he does have that his other attack wasn't a sword attack, but anyways, he is enfeebled, so he'll deal half damage with his sword. And that was just his movement, and that was the opportunity attack that Nazim provoked. So from over there, he does lift the sword again, holding it out from him in the same way that he had pointed at Norok previously. Justin, are you back?
I am back. Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. This will be, if you guys want to watch this will pop up the spell effect here, but this will be Arteme, Norok, Nazim, Shok, and Shan.
Ooh.
As he casts another death wave, same as he did previously, so you'll need to make a DC 18 dex save. It means Arteme fails.
Thanks.
Bet you all wish you were invisible, huh?
He doesn't seem to know you're there. By the way, he teleported over right by you, but he does not appear to know that you're there. Shan fails. I'll roll for Shoke here. Norok fails. Are you going to use your ring, G?
I don't know if that'd be fair, would it? You know, 2 fights, same thing.
Didn't we had this discussion last time? What did we settle on? Do you remember?
I can't remember if we had this exact one or not. I just don't want to be like taking advantage of it, you know.
No, I mean it is an item you have. I would say that it's fair for you to be able to use it. We might need to. Well, no, I wouldn't even say that we need to adjust the charges. I think it's fine. It's just one of those things that you know, being able to auto succeed back to back probably would be tricky. It's fine. We'll figure it out later. I think it's fine. I don't want to
Doesn't it have like
downgrade
a
it.
set amount of charges, and it only recharges after the end of every day? So in a
Yeah.
way, if you use them all consecutively, it's your prerogative. But at the same time,
Yeah.
you won't have it for later. So I don't
Yeah.
think that's broken.
No, I think it's fair. I mean, that's how it's designed, anyways. It is a, you know, a much more powerful item, anyway. So, you can use it then.
Because
Okay.
it would have been full. It has 3 charges, and I haven't used it in a while. So
All right, so you have one left then. Yeah. So you have one left for the day. Need one from Nazim still. Sako. DC 18 deck save.
Deck save.
What's that? Yeah, deck save. DC 18.
There you go.
Oh shit, so close. Well, that'll be full damage to everybody then, and it is 12d6 total.
Oh,
40 damage to everybody in that, and all of the people that were in there.
on.
Shan's gone. Okay. Everybody that is in there cannot heal until the end of their next turn. So remember that too.
Orgasm
puts-
time.
You sound really far away, Justin. Did you move your headset or
I
something?
switched it. My friend Katie's watching the game and enjoying it, so I'm on my normal mic and speaker.
Okay. All right. Then that is it for his turn. Hang on. Need bonus action. Yeah, that's it for his turn. That brings us to Nazim.
All right, I've had enough of him.
You don't like his style?
I will let you guys know, technically, you don't know where I'm at either. So if you do an area of effect spell, I won't be mad at you.
Yeah.
Get myself right over here.
Because he was
Yeah.
invisible and then moved, so you wouldn't know that he's there if you're gonna hit the Death Knight.
Which is fine.
And then
I roll it up. I don't give a shit.
I'm going to cast a full Eldritch Blast, all 3 shots aimed at his arm, holding
All
the
right.
sword.
Okay. If you do called shots, it'll make the AC harder. You know that, right? If you're trying to hit a specific target,
Yeah, never mind. Just aim at him. All 3 shots.
all right? Then 18 AC. So go ahead and roll your 3. See if we get any crits. 16 will not. Eight will not. 6 will not. This was looking really good earlier, guys. You were all hitting and rolling really high as far as damage, but this is looking worse quite a bit
But
now.
wait, my glove seems to be glowing right now. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that again.
All right, go right ahead.
Oh wait, you're way too far away from me. Never mind.
He has a thing so that he can cast his Eldritch Blast a second time.
Oh no, I was gonna have him re-roll, but he's way more than 30 feet.
Yeah. 19, that one will hit. Go and roll the damage. Yeah, that's fine. We can do the last 11 will not. But go and roll the damage for the one that did. That D6 is really screwing you, Sako. And it was a 1 on the damage? Fuck. Well, 6 damage done to him. It's still something. And he actually has to make a check on something. So 1 sec here. Oh, well, you guys are going to get to see it anyways because I don't had to roll, so... succeeds. All right. That it for your turn, Sako?
Yep, that's it. That's my bonus and everything.
All right. That brings us to the Skellies. The 2 that are still here. One is going to scrambling up as fast as it can, this very awkward gait as it lunges through the snow and leaps up through the air to try to stab Norok in the back with a broken and rusty longsword. 15, G?
No, because AC is higher now, and I'm going to use my what's that? Tribal Fury, I think, and counter attack.
Okay, go ahead.
And then I think I do like a little heal or something too. So.
That's if you want to use a tribal endurance with it. Yeah.
Or yeah, that's what it is. So it's just the counter attack.
Okay. But you can't gain hit points anyway, so the heal would be wasted.
Yep.
You're not really hurt too bad yet, anyways. Wait, you got hit by that 40. You didn't take that 40 off, G.
Oh shit, yeah. Oh, would that have been half or?
No, you. Oh, sorry. Yes, sorry. It would have been half. So it would
I
have
still
been
need to do
20.
that.
I forgot you counted as succeeded. Never mind. So because you succeeded, you can still heal actually, since you used your ring to succeed. Yeah. I was. Yeah, that one won't hit though. So go ahead and take off the 20, but you still are able to heal if it comes up.
Okay.
All right. Other skeleton is doing the same thing to rush in as fast as he can and try to cleave his way into Shoke. Artemis, you're up next. Also, it does not hit. That brings us to Artemis.
Okay. I'm gonna use my Choker of Stars.
Okay.
Crown of Stars. And summon motes.
Okay. Would you click it real quick? I think do you get to summon them, or do you get to send them out as you summon it? I think you do, right? As part of this action, you can send one of the motes streaking towards. Okay, yeah, so you have the other 6 still above you then.
Yeah, I still have the other 6. So I'm gonna send one towards the enemy with intent to harm.
Which one? The Death Knight? Not the skeletons, but the Death Knight?
Yeah, the Death Knight.
Okay, go ahead and roll the attack. Oh, shit. All right, that'll do it. Go ahead and roll the damage. And it is radiant damage, too, actually. Well, that's a bigger hit than you were expecting. 34 to McDudson here. As this mote, this little kind of radiant ball of light that is floating over Artemis' head, you see kind of a small ring that is floating in circles over a head of 7 balls. One of them goes trailing off through the night, slapping into the Death Knight here, and actually you see a physical impact. This is the first time that, although he's been hit and taken damage, by the way, there's still a ring of fire that doesn't move with him, so he's outside of the ring now. But anyways, the mote of light hits him, and you see a physical impact as he kind of collapses forward like he's been kicked in the stomach, kind of rights himself and pulls the sword back up again, but he does seem to be significantly injured at this point. Bonus actions, Fox?
That was my bonus action.
It was a bonus action?
Yes.
Sorry, it's an action. No, it's an action to do it, and as part of the action you can send one.
Because it says one bonus action. For like spell usage?
Yep, it does. I see it there. Okay, I'll need to fix that. We'll leave it as a bonus action for now. That's fine. It is supposed to be an action, though, in the spell text there.
Okay.
But that's like as part of the action, you can send one. But
real quick, guys, what's the hotkey to mute Discord, so I don't have to keep buying it, clicking the button?
I don't know.
Oh, really? Is everyone just clicking it with the mouse?
Yeah. I mean, I've never used a hotkey for it.
All right, never mind then. Just kidding, guys. Continue on.
Yep. So anyway, so the radiant ball hits him, but you still have your action then. So any action you want to use?
I'm gonna conjure an ice knife and throw it.
Okay. Go ahead and do that, and I'll fix that so that it shows action for the next time there.
Okay, that's gonna be confusing then.
How so?
Because it was a bonus action, now it's gonna be an action, so I'll be able to pair with a bonus action instead of pairing with an action.
It's quite a bit more powerful than most of your spells already, though. I mean, they're still... It's fine. We can figure it out after.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and roll the attack, though. For the ice knife. 23, that'll hit. He's going to make his dex save to see if he's hit by the shrapnel. He succeeds on the dex save, so go ahead and roll the damage. It'll just be the, minus the d4. Yeah, okay, it doesn't cover the d4 then. All right, so another 6. He is actually starting to look pretty rough. Couple of good hits could probably finish him off, you think, Fox?
Okay.
Is that it for your turn?
I'm going to move.
Okay. You still technically have concentration up on the wall of fire. He's out of it, and nobody necessarily needs it, although it is still.
Okay, I'll just drop it then.
Okay. I gotta move the.
Because that's not one spell that I can move around.
Yeah. All right, that brings us to Avar. Now that Avar actually can see decently, with Sarah kind of half in the way there, he can at least take a shot. But I didn't put the bow on there. All right, I'll just have to roll it as a d20. And his mod is a +2. 10 will not hit, so Avar's shot does not connect, despite Cinnamon. That brings us back to Sarah.
Right, so I have clear view of both the whatever Death Knight thing and a skeleton, correct?
One skeleton, the one that is directly in front of Norok, yes.
Yes. Alright, then we are going to... Right now, 1, 2... Yeah, it's 2 points. So we're going to use the twin spell.
Okay.
For the twin meta magic thing, so that's 2 points because I'm going to use the first level spells. 4. Alright. Spells. We have spellbook. Not features. We're going to use Chaos Bolt.
Okay.
On the skeleton I can see and the Death Knight.
Alright, go ahead and roll it. Skelly AC is quite a bit lower, obviously. It's only 14, so... I should have asked you first. You said Death Knight and then Skeleton, so we'll go ahead and say that the first one was at the Death Knight.
I thought they both take the same attack.
Oh, is it the same roll for twin attack, or for twin spell?
I think so.
Okay. Alright, well, 24 would hit either way, so...
Let me double check what I'm...
Yeah, go ahead and bring it up just in case. I thought you had to roll them separately, but I could be wrong. That's one that I'm surprised you don't use more often.
I actually use it pretty often. I just have been using it for polymorph to get up here as Mammoth.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I guess I meant for, more spell or attack type spells. Yeah. Let's see. It doesn't specify. Yeah, so I guess
I would assume it would be the same.
Yeah, that's fine.
attack.
Just remember from here out then, because it doesn't specify, we'll go with that. The single roll's fine. I don't see any reason that it wouldn't be. So, 24 will hit. Go ahead and roll the damage. Skelly only has 5. Death Knight has a good bit more, but 18.
What was the?
Yeah, the D6 or the 8 and 7.
Oh, right. So 8 and 7. Let's go with Thunder.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay. It does seem to hurt him, not any more than you might expect. But as the ball of this kind of blue and white radiant energy smashes into the back of the skeleton that just tried to stab Norok, and Norok swung back at, it just explodes into a radiant, like a mine, like a grenade explosion of bone shrapnel all over the place. Norok, you have to kind of wipe some of this bone dust off of your face as the skeleton in front of you just is obliterated. Let's see, that was your action. Any bonus actions?
Big dude still up?
Yep.
Shit.
He looks in rough shape. Like, there are bits of his armor that have been blown off, and you see this desiccated, like, leather, essentially. It's long since stopped being skin. Although I think I probably just heard Nazim's ears perk up, but, it did. Yeah, what there is remaining of him is in tatters.
No, I'm not going to use the bonus action. I'm just going to tell Avar, get back, wait for Pogo to tell you the goddamn safe word. Get back.
He said the safe word, and he's like,
he did
scared
not,
and stammering.
Just at least get back a little bit farther before the next pillar, and then shoot.
All right. Okay, that brings us to Norok.
Okay. There he is.
Good thing you guys went down to 2, exhaustion level 2, because you don't have half speed now, right?
Oh,
speed is still half. Speed is still half G.
Yeah, I have less exhaustion. That's why I'm rolling better tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it would help, certainly. You're down to 1. Everybody else is still at 2.
At least it's only D6 and D8.
Yeah. They've really screwed Ben's attacks, though, on the last one. He swung 4 times, and Nazim shot 6 Eldritch Blasts, and only one of them connected. Because of the D8s, the D6s or whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it was D6, I think. What you doing, G?
I'm going to throw Broken Bear at him.
Okay. And you put the Sword of Soul and Hours up on your back and pull Vulcanbreaker back off of your hip then, and prepare to fling it in his direction. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Do I hit versatile first, or do I just hit attack?
I think versatile was the throw, right?
I think so.
No, versatile. Okay, hang on. It is.
Oh, is that one hand or two?
Yeah, versatile's for one-handed or two.
Okay.
It is
The attack
still
roll,
just a
damage
regular.
is different, right?
Yeah, well, it's Dex instead of Strength though. So grab it. We'll just do it manually. Roll your d20. Your Dex mod is +2, so it'll be +6 total with your proficiency.
So just
d20 +6. Yeah, d20 +6. That'll hit. All right, and the damage is 4d4 +4 lightning damage, which might be enough. He's looking pretty bad.
Okay, hit damage.
Yep. No. It's you'll have to roll 44. That damage will be the melee attack version, so not the one you throw it. I'll put one in there for throwing and just keep forgetting to do it. If you keep left clicking the D4, it'll give you a little counter. You can run it up to 4.
All right, there we go.
12 plus 4 is 16. Oh, so close. Not quite there.
Well, I get it a second throw, right? Full action again.
You do it, plus you're hasted, so yeah, you do. You can pull it back as a free action, so Vulcanbreaker, end over end, goes sailing through the air. You hear a little shriek from behind the Death Knight, a little halfling sounded shriek. You don't see anybody there, but a Justin-sized, Pogo-sized shriek, rather. And then as it kind of sails over him, just zapping off this electrical energy into the Death Knight, you make this kind of boomerang gesture as it swings back towards your hand. Go ahead and throw it again. That will not hit.
I'm pretty sure he's within 30 feet of me now.
He might be.
I'll use my reaction to let him reroll.
Let's see. I think he is just barely.
You don't see me, but you just sense this amazing big dick energy around the corner.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's coming from.
It came from the same direction as that terrified shriek with some pants-wetting sounds.
Yeah. you just got excited.
Plus 6, still not enough.
Is he? He's not within 30 feet of me, is he?
Probably just outside, it looks like. No, just barely inside. Hang on. Yeah, no, I did the same for Pogo, yeah, so just barely.
Right, so you get one more roll. Oh my god.
All right.
If he gets another turn, this could go real bad, because a couple of you are in really bad shape, so if he doesn't die in time. Plus 6 is 15, no, he still will not hit you.
Oh my god!
But that brings us to Pogo, who is still, he is unaware of, Pogo is right behind him and invisible.
Kill him.
And he's almost dead.
So it's all in
off the
Pogo
ground is he?
Yeah, so Pogo, if you fail this, and the party wipes, it's all on your shoulders.
Well,
Sure.
on Choke, because Choke
how-
is next before the night.
How
Oh,
high
true,
off
yeah.
the ground is he?
One more time.
How high off the ground is he?
About 1 foot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's within.
What a great
within
time
strike.
what a great time for my system to crash out again. Anyways, I don't need it. I'm going to run up and I'm going to jump up and I'm going to whisper in his ear, "Fuck you, bitch!" And then I'm going to
Vicious mockery?
I'm going to cast Thunderstep. And I'm going to cast it at. You know what? I know he's looking pretty fucked up. I'm going to upcast it just to 1 to 4th level. And
Okay.
he needs to do a Dex save, a con save of 17.
Okay, he does get advantage on spell save, so.
That's fine.
8 will fail. His advantage. Oh, hang on. Second one. Wait. Oh, hang on. I see what I did. Okay, so he got an 8 on the first one with advantage is still an 8, so he fails.
So he only takes 15 damage.
Well, turns out that he had 5. Sorry, he had 5 left. So as
I'm also
you,
gonna move. I'm gonna like
where are you
push
teleporting
myself still invisible over by Avar.
Okay. Well, you're because Thunderstep, you teleport, so you're just
Yep,
doing
I'm
the
gonna
damage
go
and
over by
teleporting away.
Avar and like.
Okay. All right. Here, I got you. If you're still crashing, anyways.
Yep.
Then you guys see. Well, actually, you don't see much of anything except the form. This skeletal floating apparition. This Death Knight dips down a little bit as something clearly lands on his back, although you can't see what it is. And there's kind of a slight turn of the head for just a moment, and there's an explosion of cacophonous sound. Not too far unlike what you heard, 30 seconds, not even that, probably 12 seconds ago, in a similar area where that lantern had exploded, and the Death Knight, the energy surrounding this animated armor blasts away. There are bits of this long since dead flesh, little, an arm here and a leg there kind of thing, as he is no more. And similarly, when the Death Knight disappears, you hear a rattling of bones behind Shok. The skeleton appears to have collapsed and doesn't appear to be animated anymore. And that brings us out of initiative order. There we go. But not unlike the previous explosion, there's still actually a helmet that lands on the ground that is still emitting light. So the light is still there because the light was on the object, not the creature. You can't put it on a creature like that. So specifically on the helmet, it's still illuminated with Nazim's light spell. But after that explosion, there is another shriek from the south, and you guys are starting to hear the heavy beating of very large wings headed this direction.
We should get inside the temple. Pretty sure that dragon's coming our way.
It's bad. We're running.
Like right now.
Yeah, we gotta go. Get inside. Everyone, come on, Ava! And I'm gonna grab his giant man hand and start dragging him to the fucking place.
I was gonna say, because he's smaller than Norok, like he can jump on the broom with me, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take him on the broom.
Okay. So keep in mind, you guys got one rest, bringing you down to level 2 of exhaustion. You're still half speed, yes.
Luckily, I'm still invisible.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Pogo didn't get hit, so he didn't have to make a Constitution check or anything. So Sarah, you and Avar have broom speed. Obviously, the exhaustion doesn't affect that. But we're over time anyway, so what we'll do is we'll pick up here with the assumption. I mean, the wings still sound far enough away that you guys feel like you still want to hurry, but you can probably safely make it to the temple before anything else happens.
Okay.
Okay.
Once we get into the temple, I'm gonna use Mass Cure Wounds on everybody.
Okay.
I don't even know if we need it.
There's some. Nazim is in really bad shape. He's got 23 hit points left. Yeah,
I don't need it. I'm good.
Yeah, Artemave was in bad shape. She got hit by that. Shok was. Norok took some. Sarah took some. Yeah, everybody's in real bad shape, except for Pogo.
So that's
right.
16 to everybody.
Okay. Let me go ahead and apply those real quick so I don't forget before next week. But otherwise, I know we're. Let's see. Next week is Thanksgiving. Next Saturday, everybody. It's 2 days after Thanksgiving.
Saturday. Yeah.
Good.
Oh, Fox already had her Thanksgiving anyway. So, All right, everybody's good for the 27th then.
That's good.
All right, guys. Then I'll see you next week.
Night,
Night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.